Oh, we're live. I'm just waiting for it to show up here. There we go. Oh, no, it's not. Good morning. Good morning, Cory. What's the story? It's actually what I woke up to. A lot was happening in dream time last night in regards to planetary ascension cycles, new rhythms, new beats, new hues, returns of energy, soul retrieval, a lot of earth goddess work. And I woke up hearing, good morning, Cory. What's the story? And I heard Chapter of the Forest. So, you know, Chapter of the Forest to me is it's an album by Trevor Hall. So it's like, okay, we're going to turn on Chapter of the Forest and we're going to do some readings about whatever stories are coming through. So this is Morning, Cory. What's the story? Happy Sunday to all of you. Welcome back to the Light Body Oracle, where we provide all kinds of different messages from the universe for you. So this morning, woke up after, you know, a very wonderful night of a lot of work. I woke up glowing green. So I was like Gaia with lightning bolts coming out of my eyeballs. And a version of me was eating eyeballs. So it was like, I heard, hey, Cory, you've got this aspect of you. And I was like, what? And I looked over and I see this version of me just eating eyeballs. So that was the night. It was quite funny. A lot of repair, a lot of soul retrieval stuff going on. If you know, you know. If you're aware, you're aware. And if you're not, that's okay. It's all perfect just the way it is. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What I did was I took Kim Cran's archetype. Okay. The Kim Cran's archetype deck. And so the deck comes in sections. So it's got the selves, the versions of self. It's got the places, which can be energetic or actual physical locations, tools, and initiations. So what I did was I separated out the archetype deck into each section. We're going to go through and we're going to look at the version of self. So we're going to just go through maybe 5 or 6 different versions of self and the story or the message that wants to come through regarding that. So we're just kind of open to receiving whatever it is. We have no expectation on the storyline, but it felt important. And there was something very deeply connected to the earth goddess, to the witch, the wizard, the warlock, the mage, the magics that was very much so coming through. My universe actually wanted me to do this whole thing on Gaia. The interesting thing though, and this really I feel like resonates with the reading right now and ties into the energetics of what we're working with, was for myself, it was like, yes, but there was this like kind of recognizing that for myself to go beyond Gaia right now, it would require a lot of uncomfortability. So a lot of this then is, okay, in the face of discomfort, how do we find comfort? How do we shift and move in a direction, even if it feels uncomfortable? Like, so for me, conditions aren't the best. We've got weather stuff going on here in Arizona. No, it's not terrible, but it's cold, right? And right now, with where my body is, my body doesn't want to be wearing, like, my body wants to be wearing as minimal amount of clothing as possible and stay the warmest, right? And stay hydrated. So as a result, that's a part of this whole recognizing migration patterns, right? So as we are, you know, going through our, anyway, as we are going through our realities and our versions of self, is recognizing that there's migration patterns, and that migration pattern is shifting into a place where at a physiological level, biological level, we're supported, right? But it's also recognizing that at some level, you know, we don't want to compromise, but we have to start taking all of these various versions of ourselves and assembling them together to find out what our recipe is, right, for our life path and our mission. Yes, it's easier for me. There's greater flexibility being known, right? So when you have, you know, a 9 to 5 at a set place, or you have some sort of structure or routine that is fixed, it doesn't it doesn't offer us that bendability or flexibility to be able to mold, morph, shift with the migration patterns and with what our body at a physiological level, which of course has a quantum component to it, desires, needs, wants in accordance to what it needs for its journey of healing, right? So definitely something that's coming through in regards to the energetics and whatever this means for the messages that are coming through. Once again, this will all tie together however it's supposed to in the end play. As a result, a lot of the fun of this and embarking on these journeys of the stories of the unknown and what's coming forward is we're only given parts of the story. We're only given little pieces. And every step on the journey unlocks another step on the journey, right? So it's the action of the momentum moving forward that unlocks the next piece and unlocks the next piece. So in some of the travel points and in the navigation points of our own story, it takes surrender to the story, not knowing everything, right? Into the unknown, right? Very Elsa energy, especially coming into winter, right? That's the Elsa energy, into the unknown, right? We hear the call, we know the call. Are we going to follow the signal? Are we going to follow the pulse? Are we going to follow the call? And lately, that's been a lot of my own internal story, has been recognizing that there's these pings that are coming out through the universe that are marking new connections, new tribe, new friends. Am I going to heed the call? It was actually yesterday, I believe. Yesterday, I had a signal kind of come through the radio waves, and I knew it was someone I'm really close with that I haven't met yet, right? Like soul family close with, that was pinging me. And there was that quest of like that question of who is it, right? And I'm not meant to know right now, but this is a part of that. Is right now we're getting etherically dialed, and the etheric dial is an answer to a calling. So it's a pathway, it's a relative, it's soul family, it's a partner, it's someone you're destined to meet in this lifetime, right? And so a part of this is that when these etheric calls are coming through, are we answering them, right? And I guess that's part of the message right now, and part of the gnosis of this is that at some level we're all getting the ping right now, or the alarm, or the signal, right? And it's a matter of is the signal reaching its destination, right? Like, are we receiving the signal, or is it getting clouded in judgment or clouded in the astrals, right? Is there something getting in the way of us being able to receive what the signal or the message is? But at another level too, are we open to receiving the message? And I feel like that also ties into this, is to recognize where we're out of alignment, where we're being called to, where we're being pulled to, right? What we're shifting out of our own story, what we're unraveling, what we're revealing, right? Because a lot of the revelation right now is about the true soul's purpose. And you know, even when I say true soul's purpose, we're still propagating an option of a pathway that there's a false soul purpose, right? Which can leave the mind questioning. Well, at the end of the day, there is a true heart's calling, or a true heart's knowing, or a true soul's purpose that we're really meant to do. Now, a part of that is, can we surrender the resistance to what we're called to do, what we're here to do, and just freaking do it and show up and do it? Are we going to play with the freedom, free will choice and recognize that, like, yeah, we have the free will right to say no to certain things, right? Or are we just going to surrender and allow the ship to take its course? So it's like when we hop on the ark, right? And we're in travel point into the next new earth, or whatever you want to call it, right? And we're not trying to go biblical dogmatic here. We're just giving this for the sake of symbolism. Is that once you load up, can you surrender to the journey? Or do you have to start controlling the journey and picking it apart, right? Because each way is different. I've talked about this before. When your vortex lands, and Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot too. So instead of using the word vortex, I'll talk about bus. Like when an opportunity arrives, like a bus showing up, right? The only thing you have to do is just get on the bus and go. Now, from there is your free will choice. You can complain about the trip. You can yell at the bus driver. You can make conversation with other people. You can put in your headphones and listen to music. You can read a book. It's now that you've embarked on the journey, how are you going to play out the journey? Because a lot of it does require divine surrender for all of us on the journey, just kind of surrendering to the fact that it's the journey. But there's also choice points on being able to create the reality as we so choose, based upon perspective, based upon initiation, going back to the initiation cards, and based on so many other variables in the reality that we need so we can be able to remember why we're here, what our soul's purpose and pathway is, what the evolution of the soul is. And there was a really great point that was made by LB last night in a video, which is about sometimes our highest timeline is not always our happiest timeline, because it does take a stretch on the human. It takes a stretch on the personality. If there is some sort of scorpionic or Plutonian transformation you have to go through, it might not be your happiest journey. So sometimes our highest available route and our highest available trajectory might not be our funnest because of what we need at a level of evolution of the soul, but a dissolution of the human, right? And so it's also really about that. Sometimes, you know, to tie into what LB had said last night, and this ties into the journey, is that sometimes our highest aligned journey is not what's best for us, but it might be in that now moment. Sometimes it really is about, if we're just looking for a place of peace and fulfillment, that sometimes that's not our highest aligned route. Okay. And that's about the trajectory of the soul's purpose. Because I have clued into many different things that my universe wants me to do. And I'm like, a lot of it I say no to, because I'm like, it doesn't feel right to me. Being on the pathway of awakening and of ascension, having to go through all the breakdown, break open, break through, clearing all the victimhood, all the martyrdom, all the stories, all this stuff, and it's gonna keep going, right? Like it's by no means done. Is as a result, I've reached this place in my life where I want peace and I want happiness. I just want peace and I want happiness. That's it. And I recognize that is, even at some level, such a futile approach to life, because we're not guaranteed happiness in every now moment. What we're guaranteed is experience. And the experience is going to provide us whatever it needs, whether it's to trigger off an emotion, to clear some karmic debt, to unravel a new level of ourselves, to unlock a new level of creation, right? The one thing we are gifted is opportunity for experience. Now, how we choose to navigate and feel our way through the experience is going to be different for every person, whether we want to feel, whether we want to observe, whether we want to be a participant in that reality as well. So a key factor into what we're going into, and you know, when we start to open up the channels and we just start to discuss like how we're doing right now with this oracle work, sometimes it's just not even picking up cards and just kind of sharing what's coming off in the field and what we're kind of collectively working through, right? So there is been a focus on Gaia's gardens. Okay, today there's been a focus on the earth goddess, which many would call the witch, the magic, the magi, the wizard, the warlock. That was very much so a highlighted focus, very much so in the connection point to Gaia, the realms of Gaia, fertility, the human spirit, the essence of soul, magic, the awakening of that magic, right? Contributions to humanity, trials, judgment, you know, the severity of our lenses and our distortions getting in the way of us being able to fully perceive, feel, witness exactly what is truly going on. So clouded judgment, distortion, lenses, failure to recognize that we don't need to compete anymore, that there is no competition, right? Where are we persevering? Where are we allowing? Where are we stepping into our resilience? Where are we using our voice of truth and clarity to begin communicating what our wants, needs, desires are, and what our truth is to the world? Whether it's on a platform or whether we're just communicating to a loved one. Where are we still suppressing our truth, or where are we still seeking validation of our truth, right? Where do we want someone to hit the happy button because we don't know where that happy button is within us, right? Where are we still expecting someone else to fold our clothes, to do our dishes, and to do our laundry when we're the ones that are supposed to be doing that, right? So a part of this, especially being in the caretaking role, right, of Gaia, of her guardianship, of her ascension, is that we also have to take responsibility for our own gatekeeping roles, our own Gaian roles, and our own self, and our own sustainability. So sometimes it's having to say yes more. Sometimes it's having to say no a whole lot more. Sometimes it's having to step away. Sometimes it's having to shut up entirely. Sometimes it's having to show up a lot more, right? Very individualized, very individualized. And this is where when it comes to being a light being, it's how do we navigate ascension through light? How do we communicate with light, and how do we connect to that light? But also, how do we also connect with the void? Right? So there is moments of expression that are void of light, that are void of truth, that are void of clarity. How are we doing in that void? Are we reactionary in that void, or are we allowing in that void? That place of void is a place of remembrance. It's a place of deep feeling. It's a place of deep unknowing. But that unknowing, once again, is the open vessel or the open container for new creation to arrive. And so that place of feeling, right, is a place of belonging, even if it doesn't feel good. So the tendency of the roles of New Age is peace, bliss, love, happiness, joy. Yes, but there's also a place of surrender to feeling in general. A lot of us don't like to feel in society. Hence why we have things like cigarettes, tobacco, coffee, right? We have all the chemicals and all the distractions from distracting us from feeling. And so as a result, awakening for a lot of us is awakening to feeling. It's awakening to feelings that we don't want to feel, that are all across the spectrum, because that's the evolution of soul. Our purpose, coming back to our purpose, isn't always just, I'm going to be a way shower, or I'm going to be a healer, or I'm going to open up a YouTube channel, or I'm going to be the star performer on, Broadway. Sometimes our purpose is just belonging to ourselves, being a mom, being a dad, being a good brother, being a good citizen, being a good creature, whatever it is, right? Like, our purpose isn't always going to be aligned to a New Age show and tell project. Sometimes our purpose is as simple as just getting up, finding some sort of gratitude for the day, and belonging, and getting through the day to the best of your ability. Very much so the day yesterday. Yesterday, I woke up in the deepest amount of shame and grief that I've felt in a long time. I could not look at myself in the mirror. I could not go outside. I couldn't make eye contact. It was like, nope, I'm hiding all day. I see myself. I don't want to see myself. And my whole purpose yesterday was just to be. I couldn't cry. I couldn't really feel. There was a few moments where the emotions were touched on because I prayed about it. And I'm like, universe, we need to clear this, right? Some of the deepest grief and deepest shadow and deepest pain I felt in a while. I also knew, because of myself and because of my journey, that it was going to pass, that wasn't a permanent experience, that feeling wasn't permanent. So yesterday, my purpose was to sit into bed and just be distortion and let it play out. Right. And like, and we recognize that this experience, right, itself of feeling, the experience of moving through program, collective ripples, shifts, system busting, planetary ascension, all this stuff. It's just a moment that comes and passes. This, my stomach just growled, just went burp. It's just it's that's all it is. It's just an upset tummy, right? And like, and as long as we see it as that, and we surrender to what energy is moving through us, and we just kind of let it pass through, it will pass. I promise you, this too shall pass. Always will pass. Always will pass. It will always pass. The thing is that sometimes we resist having the feeling in the first place. And so a lot of the medicine right now is pushing on resistance, right? Because that right there is a pressure or a force that creates limitations, creates blocks. Resistance also has some very important components to it too. Resistance shows us what isn't for us. It shows us disharmony. It shows us discord. Have you ever had a conversation with someone, you're like, ugh, and you feel it in your body, you feel the resistance? Your body is sending you a signal. It's sending you a signal based upon an energetic that you're picking up on within the field. So the body's having a response. So resistance isn't always having to be labeled as a negative thing. I've had experiences recently and within my life where I felt resistance, and that was my body saying, get the F out of here. Something ain't right. So a part of this place of feeling is knowing, is this feeling a communication point? Is it new? Is it old? Is it something moving through? What is it? And beginning to trust the alignments in the creation of my reality, which also means that sometimes, because I'm living so present, is I don't know if I'm going to have a tomorrow. So a lot of the mortal wounding that's been coming up through 2021, the severe mortal wounding, right? And I say that it's because it has felt very severe, has been, can I keep living my life knowing that I might not be alive tomorrow? can I still be happy knowing that tomorrow I might lose it all? And it's like, it really is about surrendering to the fragility of the experience, but also how quick the quantum currents are shifting, that we can allow ourselves an opportunity to still live life regardless of circumstance. So it's like, okay, if your entire world is competing to get to the top of the mountain, can you dance in the snow and make snow angels while everyone's racing to the top? Right? Like if there's an entire world that is literally fighting over toilet paper, okay, can you wipe your own butt with a towel? Can you go to the garden and get a leaf? Right? Like that's the resourcefulness, and that's the silliness of what's going on too, is it's like, when everyone's going that way, can we go that way? When everyone is perceiving this way, can we go that way? When everyone is fighting over food in the grocery store, can we go stock up on rice and beans and just simplify for a little while, right? Oh, good morning. All right. So we're going to go into, I just want to check really quick, see who's in the chat. If we have anyone in the chat. Oh, we do. Hi, LB. I love seeing LB in here. It's been a while. Hello, Patrice. Hello, Twitty. Hello, S6767S. Hi, Untitled Tarot. Hi, Ariel. Hi, Green Goddess. Hello, 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 hello. I have a happy button too. It's called Thank you. Look very dapper. That's a part of this. This is a part of, I want to state this. This is an interesting transformation that's going on in my own life. And it's really about like taking the time out to really double down on the self-care and the self-love and to feel good in the body again. Very much so Venus retrograde energy and the upgrade. The other thing too is how prevalent the feminine is now, like how prevalent the feminine energy is for all of us, right? And like how much it's assisting and persisting as we're playing out all these things. So it's really about caring how we show up now. Like, because for a while I had a very rebel anarchist approach where it was kind of like, give you the middle finger, I don't care, I'm just going to be myself, which was a part of my authenticity. But now it's like caring a little bit more about how I'm showing up. Why? And it's because guys, dress rehearsal is done. Ascension is here, right? And so like we're done with the training, we're done with the whole, no, it's time, it's go time. So what are we going to do? Right? And it doesn't mean like, oh crap, it's go time, right? Like go get your magic eraser. And no, it's like, it's really as simple, as easy, or as complicated as we want to make it in every now moment. And that's a part of the gnosis, right? That's a part of our truth, is that like, you can make it whatever you want to be, but it is go time. Like awakening's here. Ascension is here. We're all waking up. But I see it at amongst all levels. I even have a neighbor now that's a lot more vocal than she used to be. And she talks about awakening, and she talks about, you know, kind of conspiracy things, right? But it's like, regardless of what's going on, it's just nice to see. Like, it's nice to see that humanity is waking up and they're getting it. And it's like a deep intrinsic getting, right? Like it's that deep, they just know. Some people can format it into words. They can transcribe it, right? Some just know and they just get it and they just kind of sit back and listen. And that's what's really cool. Really cool right now. Okay, so anyways, we're going to go into, are we going to start, how are we going to start this? So we're going to go into the archetype. We've got 30 different archetypes. So we're going to do the archetype. Are we going to do the place or the archetype? Okay, so since we're going to do the place, so since this is Gaian focused, right, the archetype will fit in whenever it needs to. We're going to go with the place. Because when I woke up, of course, it was like, what's the story chapter of the forest? And I knew that some stories were going to start unraveling for us as a collective, us as individuals, especially when it comes to the Green Goddess, when it comes to the realms of Tara, the Druids, the Celts, all the earthen magic, very much so here right now, very much so here and awakening within all of us. There is something about that, but also too, since we are in a seasonal change and we're in that like winter solstice shift, every time that there is a new season that's unlocking, or we go through an equinox or a solstice cycle, it always navigates into some sort of migration pattern. Even here, geese are everywhere, right? Like the geese and the crow are everywhere. It's like everything is raven and geese right now in my area. And it's a part of the flock. It's the migration. It's the chapters closing, the new beginnings, right? So we're going to work with the places, and then we're going to see what sort of stories unravel for us. So please take what resonates, leave the rest at home, right? Fixate to nothing, right? Energy is fluid. So whether you find this message today, 10 years from now, or you're in another galaxy system somewhere and you somehow have access to Wi-Fi, cool, welcome in. And we're just going to see where it goes. Let's just have some fun. So here we go. Family in the area, and we're trying to get everything together. Okay. So we're gonna start out with the first one. So I can't see the chat, and that's maybe a good thing right now. Oh, this song. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm at home. To this in my own song. So the first one is gonna be 26. We'll do 26:30 on here. It's not going to translate the same on YouTube just because time is a thing. Anyway, so we're going to start out with the place at 26:30. What place are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at the empty room. Yeah, we're looking at the energy of the empty room. So the empty room is once again, that's the void, that's the nothingness, free of expression but open for opportunity. The empty room very much so speaks of a blank canvas, but it's also a place where we are distraction free, where we're eliminating the voice, we're eliminating the noise, we're eliminating the volume, and we're coming into a place of just pure stillness. So the empty room itself is like, think about like an empty lot. It is about perspective in the empty lot. So depending on whether you're glass half full, glass half empty, 5 of cups style energy, perspective is, do you see an empty lot or do you see fertile room for growth? So a lot of the empty room is that your illusion will project into the empty room exactly what it needs to hear, see, feel, or witness when it's in the empty room. So it is a void. It is a place of pure creation and pure stillness, but it is a place. So here we're speaking to someone something, or collective group that is in a process of transition in their life. It's like the waiting room. It's like kind of, you're in transition, don't really quite know what's next, kind of a holding pattern. Either way, it is a place of stillness, and it's a place of where your fears will come to the surface. It's a place where you will meet everything you need to meet. And it's a matter of whether you know how to navigate with that medicine or not as well. So I have a really quick story about the empty room. When I was traveling to Sedona, I had a hotel room that was literally hotel hell. At night, everything came out. All the creepies, all the bumps in the night, all that stuff, all the ghosts, everything came out. And that to me is what the empty room was. It was a place for me to meet the darkest, shadowy places of myself. It was literally the jungle. So I could get better acquainted, with my shadow, where I could discover more of my magic, more of my truth, more of my medicine, and where I could really dissolve a lot of my mortal wounding. So the empty room is a place for you where you create meaning in it, which is cool. But sometimes when we create meaning in something, especially if we're not seeing things clearly, we can also create storylines that we don't need to be a part of. Okay. So with the empty room, I do want to go into the archetype now. The empty room. What is the archetype for the empty room? What is the version of self? The version of self is the poet. So it's an empty place of creation where you find the art within the room. So if you're in the empty room, right, the archetype that you want to work with is the poet, because that's the person that's creating art. It's the one that's creating the beauty in the details, right? However you want to paint it. So kind of got this like coloring book, adventure, paint by numbers kind of style of a feel into it, where it's very much so you're the one that is the director, the commander, the creator of this reality. How do you so choose to navigate? How do you choose to see it? How do you choose to paint in the picture, the colors? This is your void. So since it is your void, own it. Okay, own it. Take ownership over it. What is the tool that will help to navigate this room as well? So the empty room, the poet, and then there's a tool. The tool is the riddle. So funny how this ties in. So here we have that trinitized being. We have that Trinity knot, Trinity loop. Very got a Celtic feel. Very much so has a Celtic feel, which I like. If you see me smiling from ear to ear, there's a mystery that's unsolving, unlocking within this place. So it is a quest of truth. It is a quest of knowing. It's a quest of seeing beyond the veil, but it's also finding the folly in the mysteries of the universe and in these realms. Very elven, fairy, kind of jokester energy that comes with this. So always be mindful as you're navigating these kinds of realms, especially with the jokester stuff. But it's essentially just kind of like a an aspect of, we could almost see the jokester as pure source consciousness that can just shift in and out of whatever it wants, right? And I feel like that's the perception that we need, is the jokester is always just like a hall of mirrors, is going to show you exactly what you need to see within yourself, right? Whatever you've been lacking, things of that nature. So let's not go into the jokester stuff, because I don't want to, you know, we're not going to go there. We're looking at the empty room, the poet, and the riddle. So there is some sort of magic, art or creation that's coming through this, whether it is actual tangible art, right? Whether it is for you painting a picture, designing something, right? Like it is an aspect of you unlocking creator consciousness and how that shows up in the world. Okay. So it is, the heart of the reading is a young adventurer, Page of Swords. So we have this youthfulness, we have this innocence, we have the quest into the unknown, the search for the Holy Grail, right? Eye roll. If you've been through it, you've been through it. But there is an adventure. There's something unlocking, and it's an adventure to clear control. It's an adventure into the shadow. And however that perceives to you, whether this is like programming, whether it's to free yourself from the 3D system, it is a place and a space to go deep. However that wants to show up for you. As the crows are, the ravens are so loud, right when I said, I've got my raven feather here, so I feel like the raven wants me to pull out to my raven feather. Ravens to me speak of protection, being able to see beyond the veil, protectors, guards, guardians. Someone just said nuisance. You see it as a nuisance, that's your perspective. Once again, the empty room, right? Your perspective. Either way, we're seeing a young adventure, or a young journey into the unknown. But the thing that's about this is there's still that youthfulness, like, and it's not this like divine innocence, fool energy youthfulness with clear skies. We still have a little bit of cloudiness and a little bit of haze here. So I feel like a lot of the representation of this journey is to clear up the skies, right? To get clarity, to also find what belongs for us. What is our journey moving forward? It is still like, since it is a page, it's still going through its process of maturation, right? So it is a journey of lessons. It's a journey of growth. It's a journey of expansion. But it's a journey of breaking free. This, in a sense, is a journey of freedom. Yeah. It's a journey of freedom in the realms of our emotionality and really coming into a place of deep knowing who we are at an emotional level. Unswayed, unbothered by the shifts and the changes. It's a place where we can actually sit and cut through all of our BS, all of our lack, all of our fear, all of our boredom, all of our worry, to come into this place of stillness, to be that pillar, a pillar at the altar of the divine. When I see the King of Cups recently, it's been showing up as that crystalline pillar. The one who holds the knowing, holds the vision, holds the truth, unswayed by what is moving and what is shifting. So this is that deep diver. This is the one who seeks clarity becomes the expert diver, to be able to navigate the realms of emotionality. For some of you, this is the Page of Swords is on the journey finding this King of Cups. So this could be the journey of finding a teacher, finding a way short. But this is very much so kind of coming through a little bit of the hero's journey. Now, the hero's journey has evolved recently, and we've had a few people discuss this, that we're all just kind of teaching on the way. But either way, there is some sort of quest here for some sort of mentor, guide, guru, whatever you want to call it to be, to teach, to grow, to expand. Or if it's not finding this person, it's discovering this person from within, because it's always going to exist within, right? Then it will outside. Like you are finding this within you, but there might be a focus on, like, okay, so think of like, what wants to come through is if it's like, it's giving you something to aim for. It doesn't mean that that's where the trajectory hits. Like, it doesn't mean that that's where you're going on your journey, but it's something to aim for because it's giving you direction. Especially with the Page of Swords, right? It's kind of got a little bit right now, this energy of the wanderer, which is like being able to go anywhere on your pathway, being able to go anywhere on your journey. So we can think of the King of Cups as being a little bit of a target, right? Like, and not a target in a bad way. It's something to keep your eyes and your sights on, to give you an opportunity to have somewhere to go. It's a place of finding direction. And so whether that direction is someone or something or a goal, it's giving you direction. Especially when it comes to wandering in the empty room, because these empty rooms and these void expressions, especially if there's nothing in the room, is what is our target? What's our target? Right? What are we agreeing to? Right? Why are we here? What are we doing? So it's essentially, think of it like the first color to begin producing whatever this art is for ourselves, but it's also finding our own riddle, our own art, and finding the poetry in life again, right? So it's got this energy of, rather than coming from the logistical, logical, science, fact, fictitious point of view, it's activating that artist within ourselves, because we're recognizing that a part of creator and creation with realities, with everything going on, is it is art. And choosing to see it as such means that we have the opportunity to paint it in however we so choose to fit, because it is our creation. Now, that creation always weaves into societal creations, collective creations, and creations with other people, right? So we have to be mindful of that, because if we have too much of like a narcissistic, I'm the center of the universe kind of an approach, our reality does have an effect on other people. Let's just state that. There is the law of cause and effect here, which means that every choice does ripple out through the field and affects other people, whether in this timeline or another timeline or in another reality or in another dimension or in another world, right? Or in another landscape. Every choice has an effect. So we are still playing in the energy of law of cause and effect, but we also recognize that a part of this is about surrendering and embodying your truth fully, which means that when you embody your truth, bam, you stamp it right there. I'm in my truth. That sends out a ripple. That ripple has a ping back, right? So this is why the King of Cups energy is necessary, is because every choice to embody your truth will trigger other people's. As a result, those ripples come in, but the King of Cups is unswayed by the ripples of the collective. This is that stabilizer frequency. So the Page of Swords being a little chaotic and cutting and kind of all over the place, The King of Cups is helping us to stabilize in the ripples that are coming through based upon the most recent decisions or the decisions that we're going to make on our journey, because this is about embodying our truth. So the more that we are embodying our truth, recognizing that that will trigger other people. Because we're essentially like, so let's say we're in the quest for freedom, right? Our quest for freedom is going to trigger off everyone's enslavement, right? It's that your light is touching on the impurities within their human form. And as a result, if they're reactionary, there's always going to be a quantum ripple about it, right? There's always going to be some sort of energetic ripple, whether they are reactionary, non-reactionary. And so this is also a part of us remembering what it is, a part of our gnosis, right? Of navigating our realms of ascension and embodying our truth is how do we navigate through the stages of ripples and the collective currents as well. Every choice point on truth, cause and effect. Your clarity, your truth is signaling out the truth of other people, which is going to start pointing out the falsities of others as well, including in the collective trajectory. So this itself is the embodiment of this, is making sure that we are going to be unswayed or unbothered on our journey, because it's important for the truth that we are embodying here and now about what our poem, what our song is, what our riddle is for the journey. And the thing is, though, is that what is necessary for the riddle, for the poet, and in the empty room is clarity. Page of Swords. It is that clarity. It's the trust in the pathway. Because the riddles don't always make sense. It's not that this is X, Y, or Z. A lot of the answers are held in mysteries. So a lot of it is coded. A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense because you're the one that's creating the sense out of it. It's not black and white. It's not this pen is yellow, right? Or this pen is silver. It's not. It leaves open space for you to create it in every now and moment. And to recognize you're always creating. The Chariot and Three of Cups. It's also to how you're moving with the riddle and the rhyme of the journey. And this is, once again, coming back to the folly. Three of Cups. This is party on Wayne, party on Garth energy. But it's also like, through the journey, can you find the silliness and the fragility in the journey? That's why this energy kind of comes up for myself, at least in the way that I see it, perceive it, witness it, is we're taking that very cutting person and we're essentially putting them through a spin cycle to clean up their laundry so they can be in that place of divine innocence, right? That's the ineffable quality of divine love, is divine innocence, King of Cups. So it is a part of this journey about how we navigate imbalance, shadow and light, how we navigate opportunity, how are we playing with unity consciousness, but also how can we find the folly or the silliness in the journey again? Because it actually came to me the other day, and this was just something that spawned on me, is like, dude, I feel like God is a jokester at some level or some degree. Now, once again, this is my pathway, my truth. So please don't hang on to anything. Don't cling on to anything. Just don't. It was just a thought. That's all it was. It's one of those, Cory's here and having a philosophical debate with himself because he's got no one to talk to, right? Other than a computer screen, which is the joke. I have people to talk to. Anyway. God, basically it was like the joke that was kind of playing through my head, because there's been all this like spiritual comedy to help like lighten up the ascension load, is it's like God was kind of talking to me, being like, Cory, I brought you, 3,000 light years across 5 different universes and 6 different galaxies and 17 different star systems to bring you to this now moment to answer a question for you. And we know what your question is. I'm like, what's my question? Like, why did the chicken cross the road? And the answer is to get to the other side. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me, universe? You brought me over how many parallel dimensions, lifetimes, spans of creation, star systems, and universes to land me here to tell me that the reason the chicken crossed the road is to get to the other side? That there's no deep esoteric meaning or no crazy wisdom that Stephen Hawking unlocked in like 1992? No. Right? And it's like basically this really long-winded way to say it's just about finding yourself again and knowing that from the beginning of the journey, all of you was already there. And a part of the initiation, the test, the pathway of walking through all of this is to remember that you are just you. And it's as simple as that. But we can also make it more complex than that, because the nature of reality can get complex. But it's like, it's very much so got this energy of a very long-winded way of a universal or cosmic joke to get us to just drop all the weight and burdens of the worry and to laugh again. So essentially, at the end of the day, this whole long-winded tale of reading of this is what is bringing us back to a place of joy and back to a place of celebration. So that is going to be the highlighted focus here, right? In the empty room and in the void and in the expression is not only going deep within to discover that which we need to shift out of our reality, right? But there is this focus of appeal for ourselves. What is appealing to us, right? And it's not about what is appearing to us through the lenses of distortion, but like at the end of the day, what is bringing joy, folly, and laughter to our lives again? Okay, so for whoever this is, it's because there's freedom found in laughter. There's freedom found. Temporary it is that this doesn't need to be as much of a burden as we place on it, as long as we find the joy and the laughter again in who we are. Okay. So that is the story of the empty room. The pen is blue, Saturnian sun. That's hilarious. I just saw that. I'll show. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, we're getting chatty in here. I love seeing everyone chatty. Cool. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again. Hopefully I'm still on. It was right when I popped up with that double energy. Why did we come to the physical? Experience. At the end of the day, it's about experience. So we could go into contracts and like, I was sent here because I could do the job and I'm really good at doing this. We came here for experience. We came here to play in the game of polarity and of density. Now, whether we were sent here, whether it was a trick, whether we were consumed by some sort of grief in a past life and we wanted to come here and bring things to balance, that's entirely up to you. But essentially, we're here for experience. That's my perception of it. So the warrior, go to the poets, is the place. And this is the tool. Yeah, this is the tool. It's getting cold. Okay, so I need to plug in my computer really quick. I'm going to plug in my computer and plug in my heater because it's getting cold again. How cold is it outside? It was like 27 this morning. Oh, it's 38 right now. No wonder. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Be right back. Hello, people. We're back. This was the empty room. The swan just came up. Cygnus is coming. No, not sickness, even though I find that coinciding quite interestingly. That's Cygnus and sickness. And the time frame that we're in. More to be revealed. More to key, more to kai. More to key, more to kai. More to key, more to kai. Lots of babble. Lots of babble on, babble off. Babble on, babble off. Clearing, cleansing, aligning, and balancing. Babble on, babble off. Babble on, babble off. Babble on, babble off. Hi, Cory. Hi, Wolfie. So, Gail, watch your words here. I need to know. Need. So I'm not doing personal readings for people. I'm just kind of, if it shows up, it'll show up. Lots of love to you too. But look at the energy of need, by the way. Need to know is usually human, and which is not a bad thing. But that energy of need creates a lot of resistance in other than allowing. Allow. So when we come into the energy of allowing, we open up to receive answers. If we need to know, it usually creates some sort of, and especially in this, I'm hearing a push-pull terror, like a need to know, it's dire. So when we come into a place of allowing, we allow everything to fall off, just kind of fall away and surrender. Because what we do is, what we want to do is open up to the light of peace. Because the reason why there isn't clarity a lot of the time is distortion, fog, our lenses are gassed up, whatever it is. So it's important for us to just kind of let go and surrender to the fact that we're having an experience right now, right? Even if it doesn't feel nice. Now, here's the thing is, there is solutions within this. So we can actually shift into a new direction. We can begin to clear out all the agreements where we're taking on too much, or where we're playing in victims or martyrdoms, or we're caught in a loop, right? A lot of the reason that we loop is because we didn't get something from the lesson. So a lot of the reason why loops occur is because there's some sort of impact that an experience has had on us that we haven't fully cleared, especially if it's been societally focused, right? And so a lot of this is we have to look at the energy of blame, where we're still blaming other people. Well, it was their fault. It was this, that's the victimhood. The victimhood will create a loop. Because we're here, the reason why the victimhood shows up, the reason we play in the martyr and the sacrifice is so we say no more and we don't play those roles anymore. So being a caregiver, being in a role, especially when it comes to awakening to Christ consciousness, right, is that we also have to work through all the Christ distortions. And it doesn't just stop there. We have to begin transcending all of those illusions and all those perceptions, if that's our choice on the soul's journey, right? So then the biggest thing is to come into a place of allowing, a place of divine surrender. And sometimes it's surrender to the fact that we don't know. Because a place of not knowing and admitting that we don't know, we now begin to accept defeat, which means that we drop the war, we surrender to resistance, and we open up to a new pathway. Some people stay in the lines of war, especially war and conflict within, because it's a comfortable place. It's discordant in frequency. So to step out of familiarity of a loop and into a new essence or a new signature or a new frequency, it does require a lot of strength, and it requires a great amount of letting go, especially if we're tormented by guilt, right? So if we feel guilt or guilty of being something, right, and we're punishing ourselves, or we're punishing our dad, or we're punishing the father archetype across all time space because at some point in time man did something to me, right, which is a very big feminine distortion that plays out, right? Do you know what this guy did to me? No, I don't. But I also recognize that there are things that have happened to a lot of us. But a part of the place of empowerment that we come in at a soul light higher self level that I myself, okay, like to discuss is a place of empowerment, which is it's happening for us, not to us. Because the victim always creates a victimizer. That's a part of the polarity. So anywhere you're playing victim, you're still calling forward a victimizer. That's what creates the loop. And it's a catch-22. Well, how do I escape that? Well, we have to empower ourselves to state, like, and so for myself, what helps is I ask myself, why did I create this in my reality? Why did I call this forward as an experience? Why do I keep calling this forward as an experience? Because when I begin to create a dialogue with my universe, which is just me having a discussion with my other dimensional versions, my higher selves, my soul, whatever it is that I am now beginning to open up to answers into a new way. Because a lot of that path is the routine and the structure of the pathway and why it loops. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Right. So we a lot of this is sometimes with the embodiment of new is we have to do new. We have to switch routine. We have to change the way we talk to ourselves. We have to change our friends. We have to change the way we contribute to humanity and to society as well. We have to do things different. And so a lot of the invitation point is here is, can you open up to a new? Can you open up to the freedom of that routine, that new routine? It's a new route, but this is a new route that is built within. Think of routine, root in, right? So there's a new direction that is embodied from within you, but you have to find it from within before it appears without. And it is the choice of freedom to navigate what this new thing is. So it's really important for us to begin tuning into the blueprints of our ascension pathway too, because the blueprints are what tell us the map, the roadway of where we go. And our blueprints will shift and change. I've had my blueprint shift quite a few times. Okay. So it is it's the marking of the trajectory of where you're supposed to go. What are the lessons, wisdoms, and insight that you need based upon what your soul is calling forward for you as a part of your humanitarian vision, as a part of your what we would call a 12D template, as a part of your soul aligned vision. Is your blueprint is basically the gift of all of your skills, lessons, and wisdom you need for the next phase of your journey. So let's say that like your blueprint is essentially like your certification courses, right? So like let's say that you want to become an auto mechanic, right? Your blueprint is essentially your map to navigate through life that's going to help you to become that master mechanic, essentially. So it is the setup and the preparation for your next new and for the next blueprint, but you're here to fulfill something within that blueprint. So the other thing too is if something is not shifting in your reality, then the other thing is too is there's still something that you're fulfilling there at a soul level. So we would have to look at soul agreements, soul contracts. We'd have to look at why we're still identifying with certain programs, why we're identifying with certain belief structures and certain behaviors as well. Okay. Certain behaviors. Mm-hmm. Yes, Melissa, very much so. Exactly. I enjoy serving too. But yes, it's a big one. And lots of love for you, Gail, for what's going on with you. I get it. Okay, so we're gonna go into the next new. Let's see what the next reading is. So by the way, I've been talking about music a lot lately. Great song. It's by Chase Eagleson and it's Electric Feel. So it's MGM, is it MGMT that does Electric Feel? But it's this acoustic version of Electric Feel, and it just takes the song and flips it into another direction. So if you ever get a chance to listen to it, Chase Eagleson, Electric Feel. Really good. Okay, anyway. We're gonna go into the place. So marking this one. We're at we'll do 1 hour 30 for the next. So universe, what place are we working with now? In the realms, what is the place? What's the story of this place too? What is this place that we're navigating? The cave. It is the cave. So once again, a place of an unknown, but a place to meet the shadow. So the cave is always, to me, on the hero's journey, the cave is the precipice of where you're about to meet that version of you that you're there to like conquer or overcome or battle or defeat to get the prize. So in the hero's journey, which is very much so an archetypal thing, it's a thing. We'll just leave it at it. It's a thing. The cave is the precipice of you meeting a version of yourself. Now, whether you're there to conquer it, to defeat it, to meet eye to eye, there is a version of you that you are here to meet from within. And it's a place of unknown. And it's a place that can feel dangerous. It can feel shadowy. It can feel complex. Your fears will come to the surface. That's the point of the cave. The cave too also speaks of the cave of creation. So it is a place of unraveling, of learning, and of knowing. And the caves of creation is actually a place of discovering your Gaian realms. It's your Gaian blueprint, your Gaian DNA as well. So there's so many levels to the cave, but the cave is very much so the precipice of meeting a version of you. Now, whether you like this version of you or you don't like this version of you, it's a version of you that you're about to meet. So this is usually like the man goes into the cave to find a monster and defeats the monster and wins the woman, right? Typical hero's journey, which is just kind of eye roll at this point in life, right? But there's something about the hero's journey that provides us insight, into heroic action and heroic deeds in society and in humanity. It's also, it creates archetypal functioning. And with an archetypal function, it gives us form. It gives us an opportunity to form, but it's still playing out stories and novels. So it cues into a lot here. But the cave is a place of meeting a version of you. Now, whether you want to invite in polarity or judgment onto that version of you is entirely up to you. But the cave is a place of meeting you. So what aspect? Okay, so we're going to go into what aspect are you meeting in the cave? You're meeting the orphan. So essentially, you're meeting the version of you that's got an abandonment wound. You're meeting the version of you that didn't get its needs met. And so it's interesting because especially with the cave, we cast projections on these versions of ourselves. And this is why it's really important to really go within and just discover what it is that we're interacting with. Because sometimes these versions of ourselves that we demonize, especially as a culture, ends up actually becoming the orphan. Like a lot of the versions or aspects, other dimensional versions of myself that I cast aside, that I demonized, that I called people to send to source and I was battling, a lot of those versions of me were actually just my orphan self. It was my child. It was my abandoned child. And so it's really interesting when I dove into that archetype work and into that shadow work, was discovering that some of my like biggest demons and the things that like I was like, you know, Archangel Michael's swords at battling were actually serving as archetypal functions of an orphan in my life. So you are here in this place meeting your abandoned child and meeting the wound of that, whether it's from the lines of the father, the lines of the mother, You're here to meet the orphan. Okay. So what is the tool that's coming through for the orphan? What tool are you here? Because you're in this place meeting this archetype and there's a tool. Nope, too quick. What is the tool for the orphan? You know, it might be that you're here creating the tool. So I'm going to do this one more time, and if nothing comes out, then we're not going to give it a tool, because maybe the reason that you're having this experience is that it's a tool or a lesson that you need, and I'm not meant to give you that tool. Yeah, I don't think I'm meant to give you that tool. So I'm going to stop it right there. This tool is going to be acquired for you. So I'm not here to give you this tool. It's kind of like that's why you're there. You're there because you're in the cave meeting the orphan, the version of you that's been abandoned, for a reason. There's a skill set, a lesson, a tool, a version of you that you're learning. I know I went quiet and I'm not reading. It's for a reason. So what I just did was kind of like set a silent intention for the orphan. Because from here, this is a sacred space where you're supposed to meet the orphan. I'm not supposed to continue on with this reading right now, and I'm okay with that because this is such a sacred place that it's like I don't want to get in the way of your experience with your orphan version or this version of your child. Either way, it is a place of meeting. Oh my gosh. And I'm knocking so much over. Why does this keep falling over? Love bomb. What you're meant to know about this is it's a version of you that needs a lot of love. And we'll just leave it there. Whenever the orphan shows up, it's a version of you to get acquainted with, and it's the version of you that's been abandoned. Now, the thing is that the orphan usually tends to have that victim consciousness, that betrayal wound, and it happened from other people. This is why it happens with you building up the connection with yourself, because the reason it shows up is it needs you. The entire time it needed you. Every time that the orphan shows up, it needs you the most. It doesn't need me. It doesn't need them. It might want or desire like a mom or a dad, or it might desire a version of you that has an archetypal functioning, but at the end of the day, it needs you, and it needs all of you. Okay, so we'll leave it there. We're gonna walk away from the cave and the orphan, because that's what I'm being guided to do. So it was the cave. And so that's a place for you to dive into and to get better acquainted and to love that orphan version of you, whether it's a boy or girl. It's the inner child work, and that's such a sacred place. Hi, Linda. I have not listened to Marissa's newest video. Oh, is it the one from last night? Yes. Okay, so Saturnian Sun asked, what is a soul contract? So really quickly, a soul contract is essentially there's a difference between a contract and an agreement. A contract is usually made for a third dimensional or fourth dimensional experience. So a contract is essentially, it's a set in stone, kind of like it talks about an experience that you're meant to have. So like you can have soul contracts with other people. You can have soul contracts with systems. You can have soul contracts with places. Basically, a soul contract is kind of like a karmic contract, which is an agreement to state that, but there's a difference between contracts and agreements. But we're not going to get there right now. But a soul contract is essentially like, so let's say you have soul contract with your mother. The contract will state that you and your mom have agreed to have X, Y, or Z style experiences for this level of learning, wisdom, or growth. So one of my contracts for a really long time, one of my biggest contracts that I've been working through for years has been thou shalt not squander. And it's basically, it was a contract that I had made from a past life agreement, something that I went through, to where I'm not allowed to squander money. Like, I'm not supposed to be frivolous with my expenses. I'm supposed to be very mindful with money. And that's a contract that I've been having to work through and break through. And it ties into a lot of old royal stuff, okay? So we all have soul contracts. When you are done with all of your soul contracts, everything gets upgraded to agreements. This is when you start to enter what many would call your second life. So when you fulfill all of your soul contracts, you're done with that lifetime. When I came up on this review in my own life, my universe was like, you can leave now. Like, they're like, if you want to die, you can die. You can leave planet Earth, or you can stay. I chose to stay. And it began to like renew everything with agreements. And some things are still getting settled. But basically, when you're done with all your contracts, all your soul contracts, this is when you start your second lifetime. Which means that you upgrade. Okay. All righty. But yeah, guys, I highly suggest go check out Divine DNA Blueprint. Marissa is a wonderful, wonderful, sweet woman. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you for your kind donation. Thank you, guys, everyone for that is donated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go check out Divine DNA Blueprint. She does amazing work. And she evidently put up a really, her video last night was about the humangel. I was having a difficult time with the wording because she from human to humangel, and then like I was like hum angle, humans with an angle, you know, like I've been breaking down words so much that I just kind of I sit there and dissect words right now. But it's a part of a group thing that we're doing, is breaking down our own spells and our own illusions. Okay. So next place, next space, next time. So really quick, we're going to do a little, I got these wonderful cards. Sam and I did when Sam and I were still together. We got these cards from a brother in San Antonio. And they're called cards for connection. And so I'm just going to really quickly pull a card because it's just basically it's a card game for group work to get people to meet up. But it's sometimes there's questions on these. So I'm going to pull one just for you guys to play with for today. And if you want to answer in the chat, you can. Okay, so basically it's an insert the blank and it's I feed my creativity by. So in what ways do you feed your creativity? And you can put that in the chat box, or you can even sit on this today and see what ways you can feed your creativity. It ties very much so into the work that happened last night with Jupiter as well as our creative energy. So what feeds your creativity? And if you want to share that in the chat, you can. If you want to just sit on it and ponder with it, you want to chew on it like some bubble gum, you can. What is it? Something about I'm running out of fucks to give. I don't know. Anyway. All right, so we're at 115. We're gonna do 115.50. 115.50 for the third place. So what is this place? So open. That's the tool. There we go. What's this place? This place that we're traveling into right now. The third room. By the way, I just want to say Marissa from Divine DNA Blueprint makes some bomb ass cacao. So she's a chocolatier and she works with cacao for sacred medicine and makes these wonderful DNA activated chocolates and cacao. Perfect for Christmas time. I'm definitely gonna tell you guys, go check it out. It's Integrity Cacao. Look up Integrity. I think it's integritycacao.com. Her cacao is amazing. Amazing. I just want to state that. So if you're interested in trying cacao for sacred ceremony, or you just want to order some chocolates, or you know, be a part of the family and try some shit, go to integritycacao.com. It's really good. Really good. And I feel like she's got so yes, she does ship. The chocolate does ship. I don't know if it's worldwide. If you have any questions, you can reach out to her though. There's emails on both her. If you go to her YouTube, Divine DNA Blueprint, you'll find stuff. I guess we're getting, like, I see all the sisters showing up right now. So, okay. Anyways. All right, so the place is the mountain. The next place, the next realm we're looking at is the mountain. So this is a story about the mountain. Which is funny. I'm hearing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. The mountain is a place of remembrance. And it's always a quest on the journey. Now, in this card of the mountain, we're looking at a portal near the top of the mountain. So we're looking at a pathway that we carve to a higher narrative or a higher perspective. The mountain itself speaks a lot on creation. It speaks a lot on the vastness and the expansiveness of ourselves. It also helps us, the mountains, the energy of the mountain, the medicine of the mountain helps a lot for us who deal with a lot of collective judgment. Have you ever gone out into a city and felt the judgment and the perceptions of others, and then gone to a mountain all by yourself and saw that there was no perceptions or no judgments? It's that energy of nature, that energy of that nature itself holds no judgment or perception on anything. It just always is. It's a place of beingness and of stillness. And there's this really deep intrinsic Taoist comfort that is found in the energy of the mountain. The mountain's very cyclical in nature too, because it's what goes up must come down. Now, not always. You can choose to stay at the top of the mountain, but in the journey of expansion and of acceleration of the soul's evolution and the dissolution of the human and the transcendence and all of this, the mountain is actually a place of travel and of navigation, where we go up to the top and we come back down. It's also very firm in its roots. It's very gigantic and large and grounded in its architecture, right? So there's a lot that comes from the mountain. So the mountain, we're speaking of a vista. We're speaking of a plateau. We're speaking of a perception. We're also speaking of the pathway of new perceptions, right? And the journey of the mountain, whether this is together in a group, which we could just see this pretty much as ascension, or whether it's individualized. Either way, this could be an energetic mountain, which is symbolic of ascension. It can also be an actual physical location. So please take what resonates and leave the rest at home. What archetype are we working with the mountain? What archetype? Archetype or archetypes want to show up with the mountain. So we're going to gift an opportunity to have multiple archetypes. Since this is a journey and not all journeys have to be alone, we're going to surrender to whatever archetype or archetypes want to show up, because this could be multiples. I'm kind of cluing into and it's 1122 here, which is very much so the journey of the builder. And with 1122, that's 2 11s come together to create the builder, right? So it's about that unified principle, which is the foundations too. 2 11s being 4 pillars, right? Which is the foundations for humanity and the visions. Is there an archetype? There we go. So the archetype is the comic. The archetype for the mountain is the comic. Look at this card. It's got a kitten with a birthday hat and a rainbow wheel on it. So the archetype is joy of the journey. This is kind of the jokester. Okay, we'll leave that there. That's the place. Archetype. Okay, let's look at the tool. That whole thing shifted for me. Why when the archetype comes out, this is funny. It's a silly journey. We all need happiness, though. This is such an important part of the journey. Like, I just saw that and everything shifted. So there is something about we're back to the folly again. We're back to that folly in play, but it's in this, like, I don't know. Turn me off. What my universe will do, though. Insert silliness here. It's about sustainability on the journey, and like with the heaviness and the density of the journey, especially climbing a mountain, the lighter the load, the easier it is on the individual. So if you're trying to climb a mountain, right, and you're carrying 400 pounds of stuff, right, you're carrying all this Samsonite luggage up the mountain, it's going to be a tough climb. The thing that's really beautiful about the comic is the lightness of the energy. So it's lightness on the travels of ascension and that return to simplicity, that we want to go back to basics, right? So for ourselves, it's the basics and the simplicity that create the lightness on the journey, that create the sustainability for the journey. So sometimes we want to be prepared on our journey, so we'll carry lots of extra things. Sometimes we need to just go with less and trust that we will be provided for on the journey. So we're looking at the lightness of the mountain, because the mountain is very big, very expansive. And since it is made of rock and land, right, it is kind of like a little bit of a heavy experience, but we're looking at sustainability, because it's not about how fast you get up the mountain, right? It's about getting up the mountain. It's about the journey in the first place. Now, if you are competitive, it might be how fast you can get to the top. Been there, done that. But we're looking at the lightness of the journey here. So that's why this is showing up. So what is the tool here? The tool might be Fail Army on YouTube, or blooper reels. Might be stick and poke comedy. Oh, it's the kiss. which is interesting because I'm listening to Love Me Like You Do by Sleeping at Last. So it's this, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It's kind of like, I'm hearing Kiss from a Rose by C. It's a journey of silliness and how we're learning to fall in love with the journey again. So for some of you, this might involve a romantic partner. It really, to me, is about falling in love with life again. Like, to go very simple, it's falling in love with self. It's finding the joy and the silliness on the journey, but it's also recognizing that there is this, if it is partnership, there's this divine kiss that we have when we're on our journey, meeting with one another, right? So this doesn't always have to mean like it's a romantic kiss, right? But what we're seeing is we're kind of like artistically painting in what it is to fall in love with life again, to fall in love with the journey. Especially right now with what's been going on in the collective, there is this energy of lightening the load. Falling in love with joy again, falling in love with yourself, falling in love with the journey, falling in love with nature again. And it's like allowing the mountain itself to be the teacher, creating a relationship with the mountain, which could be the expansiveness. It could be the gigantic nature of it, the safety you feel within the mountain. So for some of you, this is like almost like a romantic fairy tale with Gaia, right? And allowing her to be your partner, allowing Gaia to be your partner. See, and then the song came up, Better Way of Thinking by Skinny Living. Really good song, by the way. And it is about that perception. It's finding a new way, or, see, I'm hearing for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live. It's still, once again, sometimes these words still hold polarity. And even myself saying better are we kind of like inciting that there's a worse way of thinking? Yes and no. It really is about alignment. But either way, it's about a perspective shift. A perspective shift. It's got this energy of, I'm hearing sealing with a kiss. And I feel like you can seal the love with yourself by offering yourself an opportunity to marry yourself again, or to, it's not, I want to say marry Mother Earth, marry the mountain. I know that, yeah, so I hear you guys. I hear what the possibilities are with that. If you want to be silly with it, that's fine. But like, really, it's that essence of divine and sacred connection to the all thing, and to the all thing being inclusive as a part of that nature essence. And if you're someone who in your life, especially coming back to like the orphan, right? You don't know nature or nurture too well. You becoming a guardian, or one with the soil, one with the gardens of Gaia, the realms of her, is going to offer an opportunity for allow her to teach you what this sacred love is and what this nature and this nurture is. Okay. Yeah, the heart. Okay, so at the heart is the journey. Six of Swords. It's the journey. Yeah, it's the journey. It's the journey of being light again. I don't like the word enlightenment, but one thing I do like about the word enlightenment is it's basically finding the meaning in light. And light, so inside light, and meant. It's like finding the meaning within light, which light doesn't need to have meaning, but like you're always light and you're meant to be in the light. So this is about the journey or the quests of the knowing. It's funny how we have the hangman too, because the hangman is out in nature, hanging upside down, finding the runes from the acacia tree. Akashic, right? So there is teachings within Gaia. And since we were working with the energy of the earth goddess and like that wizard, this might for some people be the quest of runes, right? The quest of finding the symbols in nature, the quest of falling in love with yourself again through nature. It might be for some of you, you find your divine partner by getting out and traveling the world. So for some of you that have been feeling really isolated and lonely, I almost get a sense that you starting a Gaian journey, you're going to meet others along the way that are on this journey of ascension, and you might actually find the person that you marry. But it's almost like Gaia has some sort of secret of joy that's coming through. And I feel like vice versa, I feel like you can bring joy to Gaia just as Gaia can bring joy to you. So it's got this energy of feeding, right? So, and it's not like energetically feeding from like a vampiristic state, but it's like the more that you harmonize with the joy of Gaia again, the more you can express that. Like Joya, interesting. Is Joya watching? Joya might be watching. Hi, Joya, if you're watching. But Gaia in itself, the connection to Gaia is creating a sustainable blueprint for you to discover the folly, the joy, the magic in the world again. And she is becoming a nutrient source for you to share through others. So she's helping you to fill up with that expression so you can bring it out into the field, right? So it's a part of a source connection. So when we are awakening and ascending, we talk so much of source or God light, but we connect to source, we connect to the light. The light comes in and then we share it through the field, whatever. We help other people. We don't like sharing. It can also bring up attachment stuff. So I don't want to go there, but like we're the expression of divine source. And then we start to recognize that there's also the Gaian source, the Gaian energetics, the uploads, the crystalline core of Mother Earth. She in itself right now is supporting the child to find love again. Because with the way the comic energy is coming through, it's got this energy of the child with the kitten here, right? The rainbow wheel. There's something about a connection with children, a love for children, a love for humanity that's going to be found through Gaia. And it's a journey. It's a quest, but this journey is even though the Six of Swords has other people on it, since we do have the Hangman, it is a journey with self. And it's like, it's got this energy of falling in love with yourself again, because once you resonate and are reverberating with that deep self-love, then you start to find the match, right? Especially if you're someone that's like on the twin flame journey, or you're like trying to find a soulmate or whatever it is. It's like you learning to fall in love with yourself will find that equal balanced match. So coming back to the soul contracts, essentially, like if you have a contract and you're supposed to meet at a certain time with someone, you're going to have the contract, right? You're going to go through it. But it's almost like dissolving the old lessons by falling in love with yourself again and allowing yourself to resonate with the partners that are going to work with you for the highest good, especially when it comes to groups and different various partnerships. Falling in love again with the joy of ascension and the joy of cycles, the joy of creation, you're going to begin resonating at that, and you're going to find a lot happier of a reality to resonate with or to belong to, especially in migration pattern. So we were speaking of migrations earlier. Yeah, see, once again, Queen of Pentacles here. It's okay, to speak back on the migration pattern, then I'll go into this Queen of Pentacles. A part of this is that to be open in nature like this, and to be able to create and clear with nature, to work with nature, you're gifting yourself an opportunity to move, because wherever nature is, you have a home. Okay, now I understand the human mind can get in the way of this, including my own, right? So I'm by no means coming through here perfect in this. Yes, I am nomadic, but I have my own perceptions and limitations in my own mindscape and mental chatter that gets to me sometimes. Okay. Essentially, there's a teaching in regards to abundance that's coming through. And I'm hearing for the fallen soldiers. Okay. So for those that have gone through a lot of usurpation, a lot of subjugation, fallen angelics, right? Gaia has a teaching for you. And it's to teach of respect. It's to teach of abundance. She's also going to help you to ground in your desires. So if you're someone who's very ether focused, very aether, very up in the clouds, or even detached, it's about falling in love with the form again through that. It's about your grounded practical plan and your pursuit of that. It feels like for you, getting your physical feet moving on the journey with Gaia is going to help to ground in a practical plan for you. So if you feel like you're lost, you don't know where to go, whatever it is, you're helping yourself to fall in love with life again by falling in love with your journey, by falling in love with your body again. This very much so has the energy of someone who's been detached, and it's about grounding into the form and creating a practical momentum, right? For myself, being a starseed, right? Being in third density, there was a lot of things that I did to run away from 3D. Like it was like, oh, this is going on. Let's fly out there, or let's take this substance to run away. I don't want to feel this. It's a part of falling in love with life, again, is falling in love with all of life. That's the kiss of self, which is that deep love of transformation by coming back into the form. Self-love, self-care, creating a ritual, a routine. But there's something about the physical embodiment and movement with Gaia that's not only going to ground out your energy, but it's going to allow you to fall in love with being in the body again. Because you're here to find that joy and to find that expression, to find that silliness, naked baby on a horse, right? To find the divine innocence, to find the light of day again. And the light of day is actually here. The light of day is within you. And since it is within you, it's not outside of you. Source is not outside of you. Nothing is outside of you. Everything is actually within you, reflected outward into the reality. And that's how we start to play in the hologram and things like that. So at the end of the day, it's about falling in love with being with all of you again. Because the more that you can fall in love with being with all of you, all versions of yourselves, you're going to start finding the abundant nature of all of you. I'm hearing kisses, tickles, and split personalities, right? Like, you're a river of chaos and a fog of illusion, and I love you, damn it, right? Like, it's recognizing that through all your chaos, through all your discord, through all your wounds, through all that stuff, that there is this ability to love yourself again. There's this ability to laugh. There's this ability to find the humor in life. And I feel like that is your gift here. Your gift is that you take these really dark, ugly, murderous temptations and situations, and you put some slapstick comedy on it. And as a result, Gaia herself wants to help you to find some more silliness and things, because it's a part of a gift that you hold. Okay? It's a part of a gift that you hold. So it has to do, okay. So also I want to state for whoever this is, there's some sort of past destruction that occurred for you that Gaia wants you to find the humor in it, because it's keeping your eyes in the past. So there is some past Phoenix energy or universal redirect that your focus has been on. Now, here's the thing. This is the energy of a journey. Six of Swords. Yeah, they're looking down, but they're not looking backward. They're looking forward. Eyes are forward on the journey. Okay. This journey requires forward momentum, eyes forward, not eyes going backward. So in the past, there's something that occurred. There was a universal redirect. There was a Phoenix energy. There was a collapse. Okay. This happened for you. The universe right now wants you to go with Gaia and to find whatever the humor is in this situation, because there is abundance in this situation, spiritual abundance. There's gold within it. And sometimes that's how the lotus flourishes, right? Is through the mud. So there is something that happened in the past that keeps you stuck in the past, that you're meant to find the gold within. And how you do this is it's about the journey of going within to discover what this is. This can be more than one situation. We have two swords there. Right? So there could be one or multiple truths that you need to revive or to receive. And welcome to the journey, right? This is the journey of awakening. You're like, I'm going to wake up and everything's forward. No, you're actually here cleaning up your past, right? So there is some sort of old, I want to say old, past belief, past thing, past system, past judgment that you might have blown through. And as a result, it's affecting your present moment. So a part of this, the humor in this, right? And in this journey is that there is a journey right now to discover what this is and to bring it back to love and to laugh again. This is very much so got the energy of that something that occurred to you in the past is stopping you from laughing. It's stopping you from your joy. This could be some serious trauma. It could be some serious work that you've had to go through to get to this point. The universe wants you to laugh again. I mean, the way that comic card came out, it's like the mountain was all like deep and esoteric. And then the comic card came out and it was like, oh crap, right? And it's like the universe is trying to blindside you with laughter because it's trying to get you to fall in love with life again. So I invite you to take time to go out into nature, whoever this message and reading is for, to go out into nature and to meditate on this with the trees, with the plant kingdom, with the fungal network, with the crystals, to discover what you're focused on in the past, whatever past betrayal or past circumstance has been affecting your present moment, because Gaia will show this to you. She's opening up this vista and this perspective for you, but you have to go find it. You have to meet Gaia back partway, halfway here. So it's up to you to take the action to make the journey to go out into nature. But Gaia will show this to you, but she wants to meet you halfway. Okay. I'm gonna check on the chat. Hello. Willow. Yes. Willow, did you stream light language last night? If you're still here, I hope you're still here. Você quer rashkendegea. Matuganatea rashkuku. Nem sacar morra shishira kasanduru kay marra shed. Kendo matara. Ande hanne okwanapu. All right. Comic. A mountain. That's a place. Cool. All right, how's everyone doing? How are we all doing here? Eat. Dude. I was looking up selenite swords, Willow. We good. Megan and Celia, happy light being. It's cold right now in Arizona. I like it, but I don't like it all at the same time. But Arizona right now is a really good place to live with everything going on in the collective, especially I'm surrounded by reservation land, so I'm technically on res land, but not really on res land. But that has its own stuff as well, because there's a lot that has happened with colonization, so it's got its own things. If you're a grid worker, you know when you deal with freedom and colonization, which has been a big part of this journey for me. But yes, Arizona is beautiful right now. Arizona is beautiful right now, but it's cold. I'm good with cold, but I want to be outside and I don't want to be like in layers of jackets. Like I want to be light and feathery and playful, but like not in 30-degree Arizona, right? I don't know. Anyways. Snowball fight. Okay, snowball fight. It's coming. When the snow arrives, we're having a snowball fight. And we're gonna make whoever's talking about Chris Angel in the field, we're not playing with the illusions anymore. It's interesting. Today it was instead of Viva Las Vegas, it was Viva Lost Wages. Something's going on with Viva Lost Wages. Okay, so that was the mountain. Okay, so now let's see, what time do we have on the clock? 1:43:55. Do 1:43:55. So this is kind of a pick a card, I guess. I think we might call this pick a card a little bit. This is gonna be number 4. So what story? What's the story? What's the story, Cory? What kind of place are we traveling to? What kind of place? So we did the empty room, We did the cave, which was very brief. The cave is meant to be for you. We did the mountain. What's the next place? What's the next place? So I'm hearing a song by Maroon 5. It's I'm at a payphone trying to phone home all of my change I spent on you. All these love songs. A lot of love songs coming through. So what place? What's the place? Whether it's an energetic container, it's an environmental place, like it's an actual physical location. Urgh. What is this place that we're going into? Dapper Dan. What's this place? Place, the energetic container. What's the place? Ooh, the Bardo. The Bardo. The Bardo. I feel like we have to read the Bardo from the book because it's the last of the places. I know in the archetype, it is the last place, 163. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning the inherently mysterious place creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. So it is a place beyond the veil to meet, to see, because, you know, we've got this energy of the seer, but with the skulls, it's got this, a place of meeting the dead almost. But this could be other dimensional versions. We can just basically say this as it's a place beyond the veil. So the place is an energetic place. And it's a place of insight. It's a place of clarity. It's a place we have to open up to, but it's also a place of where we meet that mortal wounding. So remember back with the empty room, I spoke of that hotel room. That hotel room, that was that empty room, that was a void space, was almost like my Bardo. It was the place where my shaman could come out into play. It was the place where I found my medicine. It's the place where I let go of my mortal wounds. It's the place of where I found folly. And it's because the seriousness or the fragility of life gifted me an opportunity to find immortality or eternity in that place of mortality, right? There's this place of being able to find the infinite within the finite, to find the expansion in the collapse, to find the effervescence or the luminescence or the luminosity in the place of dull. It's finding hope and surrender. It's surrendering to the dualistic nature of reality by allowing it to come into oneness and seeing the purpose in all of it, and the purpose in polarity. So we don't stay in polarity, we don't stay in that, but we allow it to transform us. Okay. So the Bardo is a place of meeting. It's a place of remembrance. It's a place of mediumship. Yeah, that's the Bardo. So do we need to go to the archetype? No, we're going to go into the tool, because the Bardo, I feel like we need to find out what the tool is for the Bardo, because there is something that we're retrieving in the Bardo. It's usually information, key, insight, clearing. So what is the tool that wants to come through from the Bardo, from this place of void? It's not quite the underworld, right? But it kind of is. Like it's just a place beyond the veil. I don't want to, let's surrender the whole like it's heaven or it's hell or it's just a place. It's a space or place outside of time. It's where the mystical meets. And there goes into the unknown again. Okay, is there a tool that's going to come through for Bardo? Does Bardo want to give us a tool? We're going to do 2 more shuffles because it might not have a tool for us because maybe we're there assembling the tools. But we do, you know, the Bardo is usually a place of initiation. So let's go to the initiation cards and see what initiation is occurring for Bardo. Because it might be a place of initiation. Either that or I'm not doing mediumship. Okay, universe, today, I'm not doing mediumship. We're not communicating with dev ones. We'll let Rob do that one. I'm not doing mediumship. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to go do some mediumship stuff, go check out Rob Odinson, his channel. Okay, so there's initiation doesn't want to come through, so we're just going to bring through the messages then from the Bardo. I knew that was going to happen. Beautiful candle lit. I shuffle and the fucking candle goes out. Excuse my language. Yeah, we're going to walk with some selenite today. I'm going to do that today, actually, too. I'm going to get my selenite out. Might do some rose offerings to the river, Or I might see what Mama D's doing. It's cold here. I'm south of Sedona by a few miles. Kind of by Flag in Sedona. And it's cold here too. Been cold. But Flag is higher elevation, so Flag's gonna get snow. But we're typically about 5 degrees colder than Sedona because we are right next to a river. So. All right, Bardo. What wants to come through from Bardo? So it is a place of the Bardo is a place of co-creation. So for us, we're speaking of a co-creative place, but we're also seeing the Bardo as the womb. So this is a lot of the energy of the nothing. So if we're going to go into the Sophia tones, right? The everything and the nothing, this is a place of the nothing. But it's a place of the nothing to discover what the teaching is. So it's a place to receive teaching, but it's found from within. It's a place of balance. It's a place of unity. It's a place of trinitization. And it is a place that is of polarity. It's got everything and nothing. It's got dark and light. It's got colored and void. Like, look at both of these cards. They are colorless and colorful in the expression. It's the energy of everything and nothing. But we're here to receive teaching. Okay. Here's the other thing I want to state too. The Bardo is an energetic place for you to go to when you have questions about contracts. Okay. So it's almost like your own internal counsel sitting down to discuss and to discover, like your own Akashic records, to find out about your soul contracts, to find out about your karma. It's a place of clarity. It's actually a safe place that exists within you beyond time and space. where you can discover more of the deeper esoteric knowings and teachings, such as soul contracts, past lives. It is kind of like got a little bit of like your own Akashic record haul, but it feels like it's a navigation or a meet point that's just it's beyond that of the Akash, right? So it's like we have the cosmic Akash, we have Gaian Akash, we have many different Akashas. It's a place to meet the eternal you and to learn. But for some of you, there is a highlighted focus on karmic contracts here, and it's a place that you want to go to. Yeah, it's a place of revelation. It's I almost want to state that it's a part of you. It's the part of you that gets to celebrate your witchery. Because here we have the domesticated dog and the wild wolf. We have the feral and the domestic that meet together, both celebrating the moon. So this is a place of magic. It's a place of medicine. It's a place of celebration. It's a place of divinity. Also, for some of you, because of the full moon magic that's coming on, this might be a good place for you to find from within and to celebrate and to connect to. So the bardo, or the space in between. I want to see there's something about when the next moon goes void. Let's see when the next void of course moon is. Because we're in Gemini, right? So it's when the moon crosses from Gem into Cancer, right? I believe. There's a void there. The next void of course moon is going to have something for you. So interesting. It's actually saying today at 10:02 p.m. and 1:42 a.m. we have a void. So tonight at 10:02, is today the 18th? Yeah. Oh, no. Today's, so we were just in a void. We were just in a void. Yeah, we were just in a void, excuse me. So the next void is going to be December 21st. So winter solstice, 6:44 a.m. We're going to have the next void. There's something about in the void of course moon, an opportunity to slip in this place of in between to discover some sort of truth or to gain some wisdom, lessons, knowing. There's something about in these voids, there's something you retrieve within these voids, whether conscious or unconscious, but you can begin starting to actually go into this place, space, and time, which is timeless, it's endless, it's eternal, it's infinite, to get some clarity or some knowledge or some codes. And so for some of you, whoever this resonates with, I would work with the lunar calendar and when it goes void, to take that opportunity to go within. It kind of feels like when it goes void for that period of time, it's a passageway where something opens up for you to retrieve. It's kind of cool. There's something, okay, so this bardo, this energy of this void is bringing through some sort of wounds in regards to finances, in regards to financial prosperity, especially since we have 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. We're looking at the 99. We're looking at a completion. So we're looking at 9s always represent the mystic. Okay, 9 to me has been representing the mystic and the mother. So we are in the realms of the mystic, but I feel like you're unlocking something through this next void of course, and whatever this bardo is that you go within, this place of in between, because there's something about financial security and independence in some sort of wound. Now, this could coincide directly with Chiron. This to me always speaks of Chiron or the wounded healer, the wounded masculine, whatever. I've already had my little discussion about Chiron and Chiron's evolution, but this is very much so in a Chiron or a Mars energy that's coming up for you. But it's in regards to independence and financial stability. We have the energy of abundance here. So there is something that is unlocked within this space. So this realm itself has a key code for you, and it might be a karmic timeline. It might be a contract in regards to the wounds of finances, the wounds of prosperity, and how they've been affecting you on your journey. It's almost like there's some sort of transformation that wants to occur with you in the realms of this. Okay, so I'm hearing the song A-Team by Ed Sheeran. So for some of you, like the A-Team, that song, it's a really cool song. I'm actually going to play it. I can't play it here because, you know, copyright stuff, but I'm going to play it just for myself because the A-Team is coming up by Edward Sheeran, but it's basically kind of like a yeah, she's in the class A team, stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18. It's like this, and it's kind of got this song of a woman that gets caught up in the drug life, right? So for some of you, you might have some sort of trauma, or you might have gone through subjugation, persecution, prosecution over who you are, right? You might have suppressed your gifts and your abilities of magic and chosen a life of things like prostitution, things like it's got the energy of the underworld. And I feel like your association with the underworld has always been in the realms of the third dimensional version of the underworld, when the underworld actually has a gift for you. So the entire time that you've been brought to the underworld, or you've been brought to this place of bardo or in between, the lesson wasn't fully known by you at the time, that the lesson itself was for you to retrieve something rather than into, because like for myself, a lot of my life has been in hell. In what sense, right? Like, how, Cory? You're a white boy. You're a white boy who you know, whatever story or narrative you want to state. Well, hell was not an external place. It was an internal place that I live within, and there was a lot of experiences that expressed itself to it. And as a result, a lot of victimhood, a lot of wounding came up, especially when it came to the wounded warrior, right? So a lot of this place, space, and time, and the representative of this place was a signal for me to be able to A, get the F out of Dodge, but B, there was a retrieval of a soul gift or a magic in there, right? A lot of like, okay, the Disney movie Coco. Coco dies, goes to the underworld, right? Meets all of his dead relatives, Dia de los Muertos, starts playing music down there, learns music, and wakes up back in normal life with all these gifts and abilities. So this is very much so another journey of the hero's journey, which is going into the underworld to retrieve some sort of gift. Now, in this essence, it's coming through, for whoever this is, as a place within the void of the lunars, right? A void within the lunas to retrieve something in regards to your wounding, fallen soldiers, and it has to do with independence and money. And that's why it exists for you. So I'm just going to pull out one more card, see what wants to come through for this. Yeah. So it's a place where you're going to find freedom. It's a place, and I'm hearing the song You Found Me by, is it Coldplay or The Fray? You found me lying on the floor. It's a place where you probably really want a savior, but it's a place where you're given the gift to empower yourself to save yourself. Talk about independence. This is a place where your distortions cannot live. And that's probably why this place is a really messed up place to be in for you, because your distortion can't live there, which means that when your distortion cannot live there, it can't attach to anything, which means you've got nothing to hold on to. It's the essence of pure freedom. And I feel like whoever this is or whatever group this is for, you've never felt that freedom before. And as a result, it's like, oh shit, it feels like a slippery slope, because it's a slippery slope because your claws have nothing to hold on to. So imagine that you've got hooks everywhere and you're trying to hook into attachments, but it's such a clean environment and a clean field. There's nothing to hook or to attach to. As a result, oh God, it's a place of no crutches. And in a place of no crutches, you're forced to stand on your own 2 feet. Independence. So this is a place right now where you go within and you find your resilience and you find your strength and you actually untrap yourself. You free yourself from these narratives, from these storylines, from these perceptions, from these people, from these truths that aren't holding you or binding you to anything. It's a perception of that. So it's a place of clarity, but it's a place of unraveling, and you're going to unlock some really beautiful independence for yourself, and you're going to clear out a lot of wounds. So invite this place in, because it is a place of joy. It is a place of reciprocity, but as a result, there's nothing to cling to. And so it feels uncomfortable, but it is a place for you to find your independence, to find your autonomy, to find your freedom, to find your sovereignty. It's within this place and in the void expression that you will find the most beautiful version of you. It's just about trusting it. Okay, it's about trusting it. Interesting, Melissa. I don't know all of Persephone's journey, but I could foresee that, right? It's like all of those stories have a little, like the hero's journey and the archetype of the hero has been played out so long. I don't know the full story of Persephone and Demeter, but I can see that. I could. And I'm glad that you asked the question out loud, because your clarity will arrive to you for you in perfect timing. And that's where I like when people, I like it when people ask questions out loud, because even if I can't respond to it, you're putting it out in the field and you're going to get a return on it. So whether the answer comes today or tomorrow or in a couple of lifetimes from now, right? You'll find it. So that's how I was yesterday. Yesterday, my mind was really detached. And I couldn't do anything with the body. I was just like kind of like stuck in between worlds. Yesterday felt like Issa. So Issa, which is the energy of freeze in the runes. Yesterday felt like I was Issa, like someone. I don't want to say someone because it's not a victim, but like the universe put me in an Issa energy to freeze me. So when the melt came through, I could melt through everything, which was dream time. Which is when I woke up with the aspect of me that was eating eyeballs and a lot of earth goddess energy and a lot of work. Willow was there with the work. Willow flew through happily a few times. So yeah, a lot of dreamtime work was going on. And so, you know, that Issa helped me to freeze my ego and to put me into a place of surrender. And then when the lava tubes funneled through and we started to melt everything, it was like, oh my gosh. And I woke up today like, oh, I melted. Thank you. But it's cold outside. And so that's kind of a shock. I don't want to say shock, but it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But there's this like craving for heat. All right, so we're going to be doing, I think this is the final one. That was, the Bardo. That was the Bardo. Yeah, because I said I was going to do 5, which is good. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you to all of you that donated. You can donate here in the live stream. Also afterwards, there will be all the links are in the description box. There's an Amazon wish list, things like that. So if you want to support the channel and you feel guided to, there's an Amazon wish list where you can purchase. I have like a bunch of decks up, and it's just a really cool way to support the channel. Helps to provide new content, things like that, and I always appreciate it. I'm actually going to be updating it with things like webcams and stuff like that, because a lot of this journey for myself as it's expanding into more abundance, right? Because a lot of that thing with money and stuff has been kind of living very simply, right? That there have been moments where I've been able to upgrade the reality, right? Like to be able to get things like a microphone, which was a gift from Sister LB, that was the way that I could expand my business for a while. And that's just the way, for some reason, my pathway's been navigating. So having that opportunity to have the wish list up helps to be able to expand the channel, provide more content, provide more things for you, and to be able to expand. So I want to thank you for gifting me the opportunity to be here and to be able to do these readings, because things are changing, right? Like I was talking about this earlier. My sole purpose has nothing to do with this stuff. Now, I fight my soul purpose every single day, because my soul purpose is actually right behind me, right there. That thing. That's my purpose. Do I share that with the world? I don't, for reasons. Hence why we're going through the cleanup we're going through. My purpose for a very long time has always been music. And for now, this is what I do because I love doing what I'm doing, and I don't love doing that because of things that have happened. And so a part of the reason that I'm on the soul's journey and on this quest is because I'm clearing all my wounding and trauma so I can get back to that, where I can do that without being subjugated, where I can do that without having to worry about Hollywood and California and, all the shit that comes with it. So there's a lot of systemic stuff that has to clear for that to come back into the picture. And I cannot wait. That's why there's been things like poetry I've been posting, which is kind of my initiation point in getting back into music. But like, that's what I'm here to do in this lifetime. Now, do I want to do it? No, I don't. I really don't. Why wouldn't you want to play music? I just don't. I don't. It's a personal thing for me. It's something I share with Gaia. And I don't share with other people. And that's just the way it is. And my universe lately has been pushing me to do this, and I'm resistant. Even me talking about it right now, I'm super resistant. So to get back into singing, to get back into playing, to get back into dancing is interesting when a lot of the work has been go get him, Tiger, tear shit down, galactic mission, right? So to like surrender to the mission and to come back to a place of play, even for myself, is really unfamiliar. We were speaking earlier of energetic requirements and new opportunities, right? And so even for myself as a point of relation in my own life has been play and fun feels so foreign because everything was work for so long. And that was that like masculine distortion that's falling off ever so rapidly as we're bringing the child and the mother, the feminine and the child back together, whether it's in a male form or a female form or a dog form or a cat form, right? It's like it's coming back to a place of play. And a place of divine access. Yeah. All right. Clothing offends me too now. Yeah, okay, Willow, same here. That's how I was yesterday and a little bit today. Like it's like we should just be like in a non-distorted way. Like, why do I wear clothing? Like, we need to just be naked in the forest, right? And like, that's that like elemental, fairy, elven kind of quality to things. Is it like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, even I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside because it's cold and that means I have to wear clothes and I'd rather be naked. But like, in a freeing way, not in like, still a dude. All right. What's the time frame? We got one more time. We're gonna celebrate. All right, 2:13:55. So what is this place that we're going to, universe? What is the place? Whether energetic or physical, what is the place? Oh. Okay. the bridge. It's the bridge. So the bridge is a place of transition. It's the leap into the new world, the leap into the new realities. I'm still hesitant now to say new world or even new earth to some level and degree. If you know what we know and you've been a part of what we've been a part of, either way, it's a bridge into higher consciousness. So the bridge is always a place of transition. We meet a lot of people on the bridge. A part of this bridge is it's not only an energetic place, but we are the bridge, right? So like us, as we activate higher consciousness within the form, we are that bridge for others. This is where we become way showers, or we become conduits of source. We become conduits of the code, the living light code of Christ consciousness, right? We become brothers and sisters of the divine, because, and this is where we kind of start to step into roles of being like soul parents. So it was just myself the other day that my universe said, Cory, you're going to start being a surrogate. A surrogate, so a surrogate higher self is basically when someone comes in that you know in the physicality shows up as a version of your higher self to begin to get you to start trusting your higher self again. So I've had multiple surrogates. Lisa Transcendence Brown was a surrogate of mine for a really long time. Still someone that I don't want to say, gotta be mindful of my words here. She's still a way shower and a big part of my life. And so Lisa for a while was a surrogate. John Burgos was another surrogate for a little while when I needed a masculine figure. I've had quite a few men come into my life as surrogates because I've always had a tough time trusting men. So a part of the surrogate role is it's like basically it's your higher self that shows up in the form of someone else, because that's the way for you to trust your higher self, right? So like, it's like your universe wants you to meet your galactic version of you, but it will show up as Santa Claus because you trust Santa Claus, but you won't trust a galactic. You see what I mean? So like a surrogate is essentially a stand-in version of your higher self that shows up in the form of someone else as a bridge to help you to connect that consciousness. So the realm of the bridge is a realm of transition. It's a realm of connection. It's a realm of discovering this higher light or this higher opportunity. It is a place between worlds. So it's actually, and it's non-linear, right? So it's like the bridge exists. If we were to see like here and here being two spots and the bridge being in between, the bridge goes forward and backward. It's a cross through point, but there's many different points of the journey that the bridge exists in. So this place of the bridge is the place of transition. And I like that there's two hands here, because it almost feels like you're being, this is the energy of someone being handed off to someone else. So, okay, I'm going to get emotional. This happened to me when I was in transition from San Diego to San Antonio, Texas. I had a soul mom who will remain nameless right now because she is honoring her autonomy, who drove me from San Diego to Texas to meet Samantha right when Sam and I came together. And she was basically the bridge or the angel that handed me off to Samantha when I was about to start that relationship with Samantha. By the way, hi Samantha, if you're here. And that was, for me, she was the one that was handing me off to my twin. And in a sense, it was like, since my physical mom couldn't be there, it was this archetypal role of the divine that my mom was handing me off to my twin to work through like my mom wounds kind of stuff. Like it was like a rite of passage. And so, yeah, I'm sharing a very personal part of my story, but I don't care. I mean, that's how I am. That's how I share. And I love my vulnerability. So the bridge right now also has a feel of like being handed off, but not handed off in like a bad way, right? Like it's like almost like someone is letting go or someone is giving you the gift of freedom. Someone itself is maybe they're taking you to an opportunity. They're kind of the handoff, right? They're the mediator in between two worlds or in a transition. So this could be a point of networking where you meet someone and someone introduces you to someone. This could be a bridge in consciousness. So this person could be the initiation into a higher realm or into a higher level. This could be a higher self surrogate that's showing up. Either way, the bridge has a lot in it, and it is just essentially a point in transition. Whether you are the physical bridge, like you're the one that's bringing that higher dimensional wisdom through you to others, or you are the one that's doing the handoff or being the handoff, right? The bridge is speaking of transition. Okay, let's go straight to the lessons of the bridge. So there is a lesson from the bridge right now. Okay. Take what resonates, leave the rest at home. So we're going to tune into whatever energy this is of the bridge. There is a lesson in the bridge. What is the lesson? Okay, so we're going to go with the tool. So the tool is going to gift us a little bit of insight on what this lesson is from the bridge. And, you know, lessons sometimes have a negative connotation. I invite you to invite in neutrality to this, guys, because like the bridge isn't anything. For me, bridge has nothing but good feelings and good vibes, especially when we're speaking of Rainbow Bridge. It's nothing but good things, but there's always lessons from it. Lessons are gifts. So we have to drop the perception that a lesson has to be, ow, that hurt. Like a lesson doesn't have to be a smack over the head. Sometimes the lesson is a hug. Sometimes the lesson is a miracle. Sometimes the lesson is love. Like the lesson doesn't always have to be getting your butt whooped or like grieving or pain. Sometimes a lesson is through love. And it's like, can we allow love to be the teacher rather than pain? Because in the old world dynamic, pain was a teacher, but that also propagated a lot of trauma cycles where we would go into this like sadistic and masochistic form of love, where it's the only way we learn is through daggers, right? And like that, we don't have to. Pluto in Scorpio offers us a really beautiful gift and transformation, but there's also a level of purity that comes from that as well. And so when we're ready to transition into a new lesson, the bridge is there as a conduit to invite in the lessons of love. So it's essentially that the 3D traumatic style of learning that we needed to learn not to play in those systems anymore is now going, and the bridge is serving as a conduit or an opportunity to begin learning through love again. So it's about that we're still obtaining the wisdom from the lesson, because the wisdom is actually the lesson put into action. It's the embodiment. Okay. So when we learn from the experience, when we take that and we integrate it and we hold it and we apply it, knowledge and action working in harmony is what creates wisdom. Okay. So once we take this knowledge from the lesson and we embody it and we act upon that knowledge, right? The wisdom is what facilitates in opening up the bridge to a new style of learning. So it's not that learning through pain is not going to occur, because it is a place of healing. So we could see this as a place of learning from suffering. Like we don't have to suffer to learn from now. So what we're doing is we're taking the learning and we're just shifting it up a few octaves. So the learning is still the same. We're just learning in a new way. You can learn through pain. You can learn through fear. You can learn through heartache, and you can learn through love. You can learn through creation, just as you can learn through destruction. So essentially, we're learning the same lessons, but it's just in a different energetic value, in a different environment, or in a different quantum realm, to provide us a little bit more of a softer opportunity, so we don't keep the psychosomatic and traumatic cycles alive. That was a lot to say. So the tool here from the bridge is the nectar. And the nectar is the sweetness of life again. So just as we can learn from poison, just as we can learn from the nectar. So it really is about a sweeter arrival, you know, and the nectar makes me think of the unicorn. Not unicorn, sorry. Why'd the unicorn come through? Hummingbird. The hummingbird that goes to the essence of the flower, right? So essence, flower, floral essence. For some of you, Right now, the bridge is providing you an opportunity to find what the essence of life is for you, what the meaning of that is for you, because it really is about, when it comes to your soul signature learns in different ways, and your soul signature will learn in different frequencies, different bandwidths, different cues. So if you've been playing in 95.5 your entire life and you keep getting your ass kicked, your universe wants to take you to 99.9 or to 100.7 frequency bandwidth range, because it wants to offer you a little bit of a sweeter opportunity. So a part of this is that there might be someone that comes in that wants to gift you a little bit of a, not a little bit, it's like a leg up, an opportunity to have a smoother ride, especially if you've been through a lot of Chiron, a lot of Nine of Wands energy, a lot of that deep root, Mars, Aries, Army. It's a different way. Not to say that one is less or better or worse. We're not putting separation and hierarchy on that design. We're not packaging it in any sort of way. You're just being gifted a sweeter opportunity. That's all it is. What messages want to come forward from the bridge for us? Yeah, it's about abandonment. It's about being left out in the cold. So this very much so feels like an opportunity to actually eat well, to eat good. Rather than seeing things from the outside, it's going deep within. Like, just knowing that beyond this wall is a nice, it's like, this kind of has the energy of like being left out in the cold during like a Christmas party or something, right? And as a result, you're being offered to go into the building to go enjoy the Christmas party rather than to see through the window, right? So it's an opportunity to not feel left out, to not feel isolated, not feel abandoned. Back to like the cave and the orphan, this does feel like a little bit of that energy. So if you were in the foster care system, or abandonment is a part of your journey, like, you don't have to be a part of any of those systems, like, you know, being a part of the homeless, things like that, or at some point in time being a part of that character role in that storyline, in that archetype. You don't always have to. I feel like, honestly, if we were to take every single person in the world and sit them down and talk to them about abandonment, everyone at some level has felt isolated or abandoned. But the opportunity with the bridge and the nectar right now is an opportunity to go within, to see within the spiritual window, to find out what brings the nectar of life to us again. Like, what is the essence of joy? What's the essence of purity? What is the essence of love? And allowing that bridge to be a handoff point. Either way, too, is I feel like this is an opportunity to step out of the separation and the isolation and to come into unity. To recognize that you don't have to do this alone, right? But to know that you do have opportunity. We gonna eat good. You know what I mean? This is that energy of like, you're gonna have steak, you're gonna have potatoes, you're gonna have gravy, right? Collard greens, whatever it is. I'm just being silly, but like, this is the energy of like, you about to eat good, which is good because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You're about to eat good. Yeah, and it's this is a gift from the divine for the divine child. This is a gift. Sometimes, like, okay, so you see how the handoff points here, and we're speaking it's a handoff of people. Well, this hand is coming through the void. The hand is coming through the veil. This is God, the goddess. This is the universe providing this. So this is actually an opportunity, and it's in regards to your inner child, your divine child. For some of you, this might be a water sign that's offering this to you. Either way, it does feel like a lesson for the divine child in the nectar of life. Because for some of you, your child has gone through a lot of being left out in the cold, and this is a gift from the divine to heal the child. And so there is this realm of finances that's coming through, especially with all these pentacles. It is showing up as coins. So for some of you, this might be some sort of financial opportunity. Either way, it is a gift from the garden of the divine for you, for the child. And it's because you deserve the finer things in life. And not finer from some elitist, royal, hierarchical thing, but it's like, it's the universe sees your self-worth and wants to give this to you. But also, I want to remind you, you see this self-worth. That's the only reason it shows up. So you've been doing the work. the self-worth, the self-value, the self-love, and now the universe is catching up to that. But as a result, from you to get from point A to point B, the universe might have to bring you someone in transition. So there might be an actual physical person that shows up that's going to help you with this, because they're like the handoff person, back to the handoff. And it doesn't mean it in a weird way. It just means that sometimes on our journey, we have someone that is with us on the journey to hand us off to another place. And I'm hearing joy to the world. Joy to the fishies in the deep blue sea. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Dun, dun, dun. So this person feels a little guarded, though. So what's interesting is this person has their wounds too. The one that is doing the offering, the transition, I feel like there's a level of relation in the armor. It feels like a little overly guarded. Like it feels like when you're handing off the briefcase, you've got the Samsonite has a lock on it, but it's also got, you know, handcuffs and GPS tracking. Like it's a little bit of a secure thing, a security thing. Now, for some of you, you might, if you're receiving that much money, cool, go you, right? Someone showed up to my RV with a briefcase that had like handcuffs and guards and stuff, I don't know what I would do. I would be like, what? Did I smoke something last night? Am I dreaming? What? Am I imagining things? This person that's transitioning or offering this to you, you guys match wounds or you match experience in a way. Also, too, is that I feel like you, when this opportunity comes up or when this individual shows up, you are going to want to be reciprocal and offer something, but you're a little bit weary, like you don't know what to offer or what you want to offer isn't good enough. Because we've got 3 energies of offering here. So it's like the universe is gifting this to your child, and as a result, you're like, oh no, now I have to. This has a little bit of feeling like just because you receive something, like you have to give something away. It's a part of universal balance, but this almost has a little bit of an energy of obligation. Like you feel obligated to give because you don't know how to receive and hold it. Has anyone ever had that wound before? I mean, raise your hand. Guilty as charged here. Someone gives you a gift and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to like, this feels so good that it's touching on my wound. And as a result, I need to get rid of it, right? Like it's got this energy of feeling obligated to give back or to return something for getting a gift. And the universe is saying, no, go slow. Take this. Just receive it. Receive it and take it. Don't allow the mind to get in the way. Especially if it's finances. You might feel like, oh no, like I need to like plan and I need to prep and I need to do all this. Just allow. There's something about not letting the logic get in the way here, because it's a gift, and just freaking receive the gift. And I know easier said than done, but I feel like you need to receive this gift. Pentacles can also speak of spiritual abundance, right? So this could be a download. For some of you, this might not be that someone walks up with a check or there's a transition point, but there's a download that you receive. And it is a gift from the divine to share with the world. And then it's like, how do I package up and create this? So I'm getting 2 different kind of styles of things. For some of you, this might actually be a physical thing. Either way, for some of you, it might not be a physical, tangible thing. It could be a download to create something. And now it's up to you to work with your divine child and to work with your inner journey on how to package this and like bring it forward. Because this opportunity is going to be a bridge for other people. Like so like imagine you're in one world, okay? You get the download and you transition into this world. Whatever you did on that journey to land into this new is a key code or a tool to bring people over. Like, so you creating this download is creating a bridge. So like for myself, this YouTube channel has been a bridge. As a result, I've been able to be a bridge on my journey with other people. And so whatever download it is, whenever you're being called to create, it's like, this is the bridge for you to keep creating the bridge. And as you hand off this opportunity to other people, you're also handing the keys of the bridge work to others. And that's how we all fulfill this journey and fulfill the pathways, is we just keep sharing our keys of the bridge. Either way, you're getting a piece of the pie or a slice of the nectar, whether it's physical or it's energetic, it will turn into that eventually. But the universe doesn't want you to move quick with it. It wants you to take your time and to slowly digest this. Right? Back to the energy of food. It's not to like speed your way through the meal. It's like savor every point of the journey. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, we got that slow moving knight, which is a little bit interesting. I'm hearing a song. The song is Caress Me Down by Sublime. It's for someone out there. Just gonna leave it there. Like came through, I'm like, why is this song playing right now? It's that Jupiter mission. The star. The universe recognizes that as you receive this gift, that you're going to nurture others and you're going to show the way for others, and you're also going to nurture the earth with it. They recognize that the reason you're receiving this gift is because of how reciprocal you are. So as you are a fountain, as your cup is being poured into by the divine, you're also pouring out into other worlds, into other people. And that's a part of that way shower energy. So you're getting this gift not only because of what you went through, because the universe knows what you're going to do with it. They know you're going to take that opportunity. There is also to the energy of rawness here, like raw vulnerability. Like I feel like you being able to accept this gift is really revealing a part of you. And it can feel weird being in that raw purity. But either way, it is a process of purification that you're going under. Can you see the raw purity of you through this? Because it is a process of purification. But there is a mindset that can get in the way here, and that's the Five of Cups, and that's the glass half empty, glass half full energetics. It's focusing on the loss rather than focusing on the things you still have. So here's the thing: we don't want to negate or bypass the loss. It doesn't mean you lose something and then you feel it and you go, well, Cory said it's about my perspective, so I'm not going to focus on it. No, screw that shit. Feel what you got to feel, boo-boo. Feel what you got to feel. Just remember that there's still 2 cups standing, right? 3 cups fell, 2 cups stand. What stands the test of time? Love and reciprocity. The 3 cups fell, but the 2 cups stand. The 2 of cups is all representative of soul family, loving partnerships, and of true reciprocity. It's about balance. So it's also letting you know that regardless of anything that goes on in your life, love stands the test of time. That which is not pure shall crumble. And the love that you have of yourself, the love that you have of humanity, the love you have of your art, the love of you that you have for your compassion, that's what's standing the test of time. And that love is the reverberation that we need as way showers and guides right now. Right? There is something about the purity and essence of you when you are standing in this gift of being the bridge. That is the way that it helps to shift other people's lenses, and it helps to unstick people. Okay. Your version of reality and the way you show up and communicate your reality, whether it's through dance, whether it's through lessons, whether it's through however it is for you, you just being yourself helps to shift perspectives and helps to shift humanity. And so this doesn't have to be a big thing you need to do, but right now this is a gesture from the divine to say thank you for your work. Okay. A lot of times this work can feel very thankless. Let's be honest here. All right. After doing this the short amount of time that I have. There's a lot of this journey that's felt thankless. And so the universe is opening up to give you thanks again. So this is a moment, being the conduit of this message, to you to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your light and your gifts with this reality. Thank you for being yourself authentically. Thank you for trusting. There's a lot that's happened on this journey. There's been a lot of misuse of energetic systems. There's been a lot of subjugation. There's been a lot of control, a lot of victimhood, a lot of savior stuff. There's been a lot that has occurred for you and for others on this journey. And the universe just wants to take a moment to say, we're glad you made it and we're glad you're alive. So as a result for this opportunity, we want to gift you something to share with the world. The gift is coming through in dream time for you. It might show up physically. It might be from a loved one or a relative. It might come from a partner. Either way, this gift is perfect for you here and now, and we want to thank you. And we'll just leave it there. Leave it there. So either way, the bridge right now is serving as a moment to transition and to kind of go, oh, all right, that phase is done. Now, it doesn't mean that the work is done. It's just there is it feels like right now, like some of us are getting a little bit of a job well done, whether it's like a thank you from someone. And I've had this happen. Like I've had moments of celebration happen from the divine where I'm sitting there and all of a sudden, like, it's like there's the Lyrans and the fairies and there's Yeshua and there's all the masters, and they show up and they just say thank you. I've had this, I haven't had it happen recently, but usually during big gateways. So for some of you, this might solstice, your teams might just show up and just be like, yo, thank you. Right. And I've had those moments where you're like, oh my God, the Lyrans are here and the Syrians are here and the councils are here. And they're like, basically like, they're just giving you praise and props. And it feels really good to have your other dimensional selves show up and be like, hey, thank you. It doesn't happen that often anymore for me. They don't want it to go to my ego. Yes, I don't know. But yeah, that's one way that it shows up. Is it's a moment where the universe celebrates you, and it feels really good. Feels really good. All righty, so I think we're done. Wow, 3.5 hours live. Hello, Amber. Hello. Going to be looking out for that. Yeah, look out for the unicorn. Cool. Oh, man. Don't stop believing, guys. Don't stop believing. All righty. Does anyone have any questions? Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do, since we are done with that, I'm going to open up for just, if you have one question. Well, thank you. If you have one question, I'll go to cards and I'll answer questions to the best of my ability. If you want to donate, you can. If you can't donate or don't want to, it's okay too. Oh, I love you too, Jenny. Thank you so very much. I love you. That if you guys have one question, you can ask it. Once again, no obligation financially or anything like that. I'm always open to accept it, but I'll open up for 3 questions if you want to ask a question. What was that? That was the bridge. Oh, thank you. Dance. Dance, Petunia, dance. Buy kimonos. Okay, so while we're waiting, I'm gonna go take a quick, just like 2-minute break. We're gonna go take a bio break. I love that last night, bio break. So I'm gonna take a bio break and be back. If you guys have anything you want to ask Cards or ask myself, please feel free to. I'll be right back. All right. So we'll see if there's anything. Cool. Keep soaking up the sun. All righty. Good. I'm glad we're all satisfied. Glad we're all satisfied. So then I think we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it be. So let's all just take a moment to show gratitude. If you want to, if you're called to, you can. Oh, actually, we do have a question. Do you need to do anything with Julia? So we're going to ask a question. But Jenny, as I stretch out my knees, I'm going to have the most bendable knees after this. Okay.
Cory's getting flexible.
Hurt though, sitting like this. Okay. So Jenny, question for Jenny. Do you need to do anything with Julia? Thank you, Willow. Such a sweetie. Gratitude to you, dude. So, for Jenny, it's about showing her joy. So we have 6 of Swords and the Sun. I feel like you're helping her to find the light. Your only job is to help her find the light. So since you are traveling, this could be an actual physical journey or an energetic journey. Either way, I feel like you're there to show her the light and to show her happiness. Because when I tuned in earlier, I was hearing, hey, there's nothing you need to do, but just be there for her. And I feel like you're there, like your journey is being a guiding light for her right now. And that's it. You don't need to take responsibility for anything else, right? Jenny, I love you, but the only thing you need to do is just enjoy your life right now. And that's going to do a lot. Enjoy your journey. The only thing that you need to do for anyone right now, other than your own children, okay, is to enjoy your journey into the sun. Because this, look at this. This is your journey to happiness. So maybe it's about sharing your journey of happiness, what you do to make it through the day. Either way, it's about sharing your journey. Yeah, that's all I got to say, Jenny. So Jessica, I have a question in regards to a situation. I'm not sure the direction to take. Do I leave it be or let it play out, or am I to take action in regards to this situation? And I'll do a card for you. Of course I will. So Jessica, I have a question too in regards to, okay. So for Jessica here. Okay, so Jessica, in regards to this energy of 10 of Pentacles, so family, finances, all of those things, begin celebrating your victory. So about the direction to take is that you're already in the direction. Okay, this is gonna, like, I'm sorry that it gets so esoteric and kind of weird like this, but like, I don't know if it makes sense, but you doing what you're doing right now, like you're already in full alignment. You're aligned with victory. So the 10 of Pentacles to me speaks of divine alignment, or your Yggdrasil tree, your Akashic records, like you're in your divine pathway. So a part of this is just to keep walking victorious in all that you do regarding this situation. It is about the perspective, the viewpoint of that you're already at the end goal, and the end goal is victorious. So it's rather than awaiting for the victory, create the victory now. And the action is that you're walk celebratory, walk victorious, but walk with others. Because here we have with the three wise men, right? The three magi. is that this walk is also not alone. It's about surrounding yourself with people that are going to celebrate with you. But you are walking victorious. But take it slow. Whoa. Take it slow and easy. Take it slow and easy. Take it slow and easy. It really is about embodying strength in all that you do as well. Okay? Embody strength in all that you do, but you're already victorious. It really is about feeling abundant and hopeful in all that you do. So this is, rather than in the action point, is like you're in the divine alignment. It's about how you're feeling during your alignment and creating that feeling from within. So there's some stuff that's coming up for this in regards to ancient Mesopotamia. Okay, so Jessica, whatever situation this is, it is a past life thing. And as you're walking victorious in it, you're clearing it from your Akashic records. So the reason why it might be occurring the way it's been occurring and feeling like it's been feeling is it's in regards to some sort of past life clearing that you're going through. Okay. Keep inviting the love and the celebration to this situation. Keep celebrating yourself, celebrate your friendships, celebrate your gifts, celebrate your experience, because it's clearing every single day and you're going to come out with a new level of empowerment for yourself. The embodiment of strength and of wild freedom is going to be very important for you too. Wild freedom, wild freedom, wild freedom. Okay. I don't know if that helped or not, Jessica, but. Okay, Willow. What message do we have for Willow? Willow, look at this. Willow. High Priestess in the Tower. Right. Yeah, so Jessica, PayPal. If you go to paypal.me/foundersoflight, I'll type it in this box. So I have different ways you can donate. Here is all the ways that you can donate. Nope. There we go. And then I'll get back to Willow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't know how. Oh no. Dang it. Okay. Let me I have to do this one at a time, I think. So I have PayPal, Venmo, and cash. So here's PayPal. Here's Venmo. And here's Cash App. And then I also do have an Amazon wish list with like cards or things. And then I do accept crypto through Coinbase, but I'm not really doing that right now. Okay, so Willow. Interesting. Thank you, Melissa. On my about page, yeah, it's probably broken or expired. If it's the about page on YouTube, yeah, probably. So Willow, High Priestess in the Tower, you know what that is. That was last night. So it's the Phoenix. So what message wants to come through from Miss Willow Pillow? My fairy queen, my sister. Willow. Oh, Willow. It's about love. It's about soul family. It's about the soul family. About the soul family. It's really about how emotionally supported you are, Willow, like how loved and taken care of you are. All of your needs, like all of your wants, all your desires are gonna be like you're being taken care of and supported. Like this is such a cute energy, Willow. This is very much so like the family's got your back. It's about really knowing about your self-worth and self-value, knowing how big your cup is. Like use a swimmer, Willow, use a deep diver, right? And like you've got so much love, so much passion, so much support around you. It's about trusting that. It's about trusting not only the love of others, but it's like also that multidimensional love. Like it really is about all of your guides supporting you. It's about how much you're multidimensionally supported. Yeah, huge cup. Willow, huge cup. Huge cup. Biggest cup here. And it's not only the biggest cup, but it's the most ordained cup. So the cup has a little bit of the resemblance of like it's adorned. You know, it's got the angels, it's got the gatekeepers, it's got everything. So it really is I made a really big a really big DNA cup. It's a big DNA cup and it's full of love. It's full of love. It's full of love. You know, 5 of Swords just peeked out, which is do unto others as you do to self. You've done so much beautiful, kind things for other people. And you're such a sweet, gentle soul. Yeah. It's about making a decision now on the new pathways. This is that new timeline, Willow. Is that on your timeline, just keep choosing love and keep choosing that big, beautiful cup because that's the choice point on the timelines. Because we're jumping and I know you know we're jumping. So in regards to the new pathway opening up, I also almost want to state you might have a choice of choosing like that most beautiful multi-dimensional version of you or choosing some sort of romantic partnership. Okay. This does feel like on your journey, you have a choice. Both of them feel rewarded. Like both of them are rewards. It's just a matter of like whether you want to do it alone or with other people. You're creating this in every now moment. And I know you're scared of what's to come, like because of what's occurred to you in the past, but girl, you are the Phoenix. If you have a difficult time making a decision right now over whether to like be in a relationship or to be alone or to go this way or that way, I invite you to just give it to your universe. Like, yeah, you've got a big cup and you've got a lot of powers and a lot of gifts and abilities, but in your decision, in your choices that are coming up, you can surrender. You can like literally just say, universe, figure it out for me if you can't figure it out. Don't give up on yourself though. Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on other people. Because I'm hearing the song Don't Give Up on Me by Andy Grammer, I think it is. Which is I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. No, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when you say there's nothing left. So don't give up on me. Don't give up. Don't give up on your love. Don't give up on your passions. Don't give up on your harmony. Don't give up on your clarity. What you've been going through has been really a lot, and it's tested you. It's tested your patience. It's tested your martyrdom. It's tested your slavery. It's tested your freedom. It's tested all your programs. What's up with Leos in your life, Willow? I think it's about finding your strength again, Willow. But strength in a sense of resilience to overcome obstacles. Yeah. Okay. So, don't worry about the chaos of your life, Willow. Your happiness is here, but it's within co-creation with others. Your 10 of your wish fulfillment is being built with other people right now. So don't worry about the collective tornado and the collective feud. Also, Dreamtime clearing. You're building this in Dreamtime. In Dreamtime, you're building your 10 of Cups. And you're building it with other Leos. So I want to say it's other Leos. There's multiple. I know there's multiple Leos in your life. The lions are coming together and we're building that wish fulfillment. Right? So don't worry about the initiations. Don't worry about the masculine competitive stuff. Right? It's all coming to a close and happiness is here within reach. And it's with, we're doing this collectively. And it requires the balance of the masculine and feminine. Everything's about harmonization right now. Okay? Just keep harmonizing with the frequency of love, Willow, and you'll be good. Thank you, Willow. I love you, Willow. I really do. Whenever I see Willow's name, I just light up. Not to say I don't light up with other people's names, but such a sweet soul. Really good person. All right. So what happened to my chat? Oh, there's my chat. Okay. So now we're going to go into, it was Amber, I believe. Amber wanted Amber Lachelle. Right? Yeah, it was Amber. Amber needs some advice. Hi, Marley's Tarot. Are you a tarot reader? Hi, Marley. Nice to meet you, Marley. All right. Amber, advice for Amber. Advice for Amber. Amber, I'm being guided to go to Angels. Kyle Gray, Angel Guide. What do we need to know for Amber? What do we need to know for Amber? Oh, yes, Rob is a beautiful gentleman. Beautiful silly man. Hello, Marley. Amber. My message wants to come through for Amber. Mr. Otison. All right, Amber. Amber, you need to forgive yourself, sweetie. You are your own worst enemy. I understand that, like, there's something deeply ingrained about blaming yourself and beating yourself up and punishing yourself. And in the most kind and loving way, I want to ask you, how's that working for you? And I mean that like non-sarcastically, like very seriously. How is it working for you? Because I've done the same, where I've beaten myself up over things that weren't my fault or weren't mine, but somehow I took fault for it. Whether it was from like a past life agreement I had or some really deeply ingrained patterning, I would beat myself up for other people's wounds and for what other people did. Go easy on yourself right now while you're going through this learning experience. So ease and grace and learning experience. So I feel like right now there's something about opening up to a new level of flow that's opening up for you, and it's how to learn in a new way. So it really is about, as you're traveling through the journey of life, we're always learning, we're always evolving. And there's something about being gentle with ourselves. On this journey, it can be really easy to really beat the crap out of ourselves for learning, right? But like, this is when the energy, oh my gosh, yeah. So I'm hearing the song Try by Colby Calais. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to give it all away. You just have to get up, get up. You don't have to change a single thing. It really is about knowing that on this journey of remembrance that you're always going to learn, you're always going to be evolving. You're always receiving lessons. And it really is about finding those opportunities that bring you ease and grace, because it's about really opening up to a new level of flow for you. That new level of flow is gifting you an opportunity and insight to find what grace is in your pursuit of happiness. So we don't have to pursue happiness. Happiness exists within, right? As within, so without. But there's something about your journey of knowing that this place of ease and of comfort and struggle free and of being free of martyrdom, it is coming. We just have to relax into this place of learning how to do that. So it's about opening up to receive a new way as well. Your universe is providing you teachers and opportunities right now to be able to learn in a new way, to go for a new vision, and to learn in the easy and subtle way, not in the hard and abrupt way. You're getting out of a very old narrative out of your life, Amber, and I invite you to treat yourself with the opportunity to release the shame out of your life. There's a lot of freedom and a lot of joy that's aligning for you. And now is the opportunity to release the old imprisonment and to learn a new way about life and about love and about joy and how to express and experience that again. Things are turning in your favor right now. Amber, things are turning in your favor. So you are, there's a whole new level of learning that's opening up for you. It's about commanding it into being and about owning this new opportunity for love for yourself, Amber. Yeah, you are the phoenix rising from the ashes. You are going to rise up again. The universe is also providing you a great level of purification right now. The tower moment is resembling getting out of the old. The universe is literally pushing you out of an old energetic environment through purity and through the phoenix. Through the phoenix. You're going through a crystallization right now, Amber. Crystallization. So when you're going through a crystallization, you're becoming that divine human again, which is the death and the rebirth. You know, the carbon-based body dies, the crystalline version of you awakens. So your mortal wounding starts to come up. Your commitment starts to be tested, right? It's about really honoring that you're going through a crystallization process. So physical body might be going through a lot, emotionally going through a lot. Things might be falling out of alignment, seeing synchronistic opportunities, like more magic unveiling to you, okay? Just keep building, keep trusting, keep working on yourself. Keep working on yourself because it is building to a really beautiful outcome for you. Keep building your bridge to new earth. It's like just stay focused on your vision and your pathway and your plan. Yeah, because you're being gifted an opportunity to build right now, to create something. You're getting a download, a gift from the universe to create something out of your life and out of this experience. And man, you're blazing strong. You are the energy of the light warrior. I want to remind you, Amber, you're a freaking light warrior. Like, this is the coolest knight in the deck. You've got the Cloak of Salamander, Cloak of Fire. You are the magician running into battle with a magic freaking wand. Coolest knight in the deck for me. Trust your magic, trust your alchemy. Okay. Rise up, girl. Rise up. Happiness is on the way. Happiness is on the way. So thank you, Amber. Hi, Sherry. How's it going, Sherry? Who else wanted a card? Someone else wanted a card. Ooh. Who was it? Who was it? Oh, yeah, it was S6767S. Yes. You're welcome. Is S6767S still here? S1313. Oh, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Got you, Sarah. Yeah, I got you, Sherry. So I'm going to do Sarah, then I'll do Sherry. I'm hearing the song, Turn Around. Turn around. Hi, Sarah. $13 is my favorite number too, on so many different reasons, realms, ways. So Sarah, message for you. There right now, you're being guided into a place of love and reunion with other people. Okay. So it's really about sharing your cups with others, sharing your joy. Queen of Swords coming through with a little bit of a Valkyrie or the Age of Aquarius energy, and it's your green light essentially to go meet up with other people. This might be a relationship that you're looking for with an Aquarius. Either way, you're being gifted the opportunity right now to go build relationships, whether it's a romantic partnership or with other people. Trust your love, Sarah. Trust your love. Yeah. And it's about celebrating your union with yourself again. It's about joining up and for you might need to go party. This is the energy sometimes of like go get drunk. But there's something about letting go and lightening up the atmosphere and the mood for you right now, especially 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, a lot of happy times ahead for you. I think it's about time for you to start showing yourself this opportunity with other people. So I don't know if you've been isolated or you've been isolative on your journey. Either way, you're getting the green light to go connect with other people. Sarah. Trust your intuition. Trust that you are the high priestess. Trust your divinity. Because the Queen of Swords almost feels like a very like powerful goddess warrior version of you that wants you to go have fun again. Like it's like, please go drop the swords and go relax. Trust that you are the high priestess. Okay. Trust you are the high priestess. And this is a gift to your inner child right now. So whatever's coming up for you in regards to partnerships, play, fringe, celebration, unity, it is a gift from your universe to your inner child because of the work you've been doing. Okay. This also too could be an offer of love or a commitment that's coming to you for you. It is youthful and young, and I don't want to say childish in a bad way, but it's like it's going to be good for the child. Getting together with other people is really going to help right now to like bring your essence back online and to bring your capabilities forward. These people hold codes for you to unlock your magic, to unlock your mysteries, to see beyond the veil. These people are important on your journey. Celebration is also important for you to unlock your intuition and your intuitive gifts and abilities. Play with your child more. Okay. You hold the mysteries to your own universe. These people are just helping you to unlock these mysteries. So there is a life path, a new life path that's unraveling for you. But remember, we're working with Aquarian energy. Freedom and rebellion, breaking out of the cultural templates, breaking out of the cultural stigma. So there is a highlight on you breaking out of tradition. But it's getting very clear for you to trust the people, to trust the universe, and to trust these partnerships that are coming up. You're going to feel what's right for you and what isn't right for you. These people are helping you, though, to unlock your divinity. All right, Sarah? They're helping you to unlock your divinity. Yeah. Go within to find these answers. Oh, Minnesota. I was just in Minnesota. I was in Minnesota not too long ago. You got to go within to find these answers, though. Connect more. So this is about a balance point. A part of you being the high priestess, a part of you finding balance is knowing when to be with other people, when to go out in nature, be with own, and to receive. So you're being the gifted insight right now to go and to connect with other people, to create those partnerships, to celebrate, but you're also getting that moment to pull back and to retreat and to go within and discover your own answers. So don't give your power away to these people to unlock things for you. This is more of an empowering yourself to find these answers from within, but you're going to find them alone out in nature. So this energy is about knowing when to connect with others and when to go within, because that's the journey of the priestess. It's balancing in between both. And so the Aquarian energy very much so is coming through stating you're meant to do this journey with other people. You're meant to have relationships. You're meant to celebrate. They're unlocking key codes for you, but you're also meant to do some of this work for yourself and to go within. So it is very much so the energy of the gift of balance, the gift of nourishment, the knowing when to replenish, when to share with other people. It's about learning true reciprocity and true balance, because that's a mastery key. Here we have the caduceus, the mastery sequence here. And a part of this partnership is building, knowing when to have a partnership with other people and a partnership with yourself. When to celebrate with the divine, when to celebrate with others. It's recognizing like when to unlock your magic with other people and when to find your magic from within. But right now, the lesson and the gift right now is to go be with other people. Once you receive and get your clarity, you'll intuitively know when to retreat and when to go within. Okay, Sarah? So that's it for Sarah. Hope that helped. Hope that helped. Anyone else with Sarah? Oh, was it Sherry? Yes, Sherry wanted a reading. So let's go into Sherry. Sherry. What message wants to come through for Sherry? Sherry, you have a strong connection to Raphael, Archangel Raphael. He's one of your main guides. Natural healing capabilities within you. Either way, connect with Raphael. Very strong presence of Raphael here. Sherry, there's a gift. There's an offering. The universe is giving you something that you're not seeing. Also, it's got this energy of being bored or being stagnant. Like, okay, when's it coming? When's it arriving? There's a gift. There's something you're not seeing though. It's got this energy of, I feel like right now, Sherry, you're teaching is patience. I don't know if you've been feeling alone on your journey. Because if I remember correctly, you have family, you're with family, but you might be feeling alone. It's got this energy of waiting for your tribe. Like you're looking for your tribe. Where are they? Where's my people? Who am I building with? Where's this journey? Where's this journey? Where's this new beginning? Where's this peace? Where's this innocence? Where is it? It's about going within to find that. So the devil card showed up. It's the devil teaching us right now. It's about, so right now, the devil is coming through teaching you about isolation and abandonment. Where you've been left without, it feels like a deep wound. It's affecting your perspective, and it's affecting your ability to be able to make decisions on which pathway to go, which way to turn. So this wound itself is affecting your perspective. I would really go within and start doing some womb work. I feel like there's something with your sacral, with finding joy and pleasure, in like real pleasure, and not just like saying pleasure, but it feels like there's some womb chakra work that needs to happen, and it's going to tie into the inner child stuff. Either way, it is going to help you with clarity of being able to make a decision. Here's the thing, as long as you never abandon yourself, you're never going to be able to be abandoned. But this is an old wound. And especially since, do you have kids, Sherry? Do you have children? Because I feel like it's important for your perspective of your children or your future children to heal this. Because it is a family line thing. It affects more than just you. This is actually having an effect on your relationships as well, at some level. Here's the thing is, you see this too, you know this. It's about empowering yourself to go within and to go get it cleared. I feel like there's a lot of decisions, like there's a lot of ways to do this. And right now, it's not really clear on how to go about this clearing. Like, I feel like you've got all the options available to clear this, whether it's with yourself, with other people. Like, you know what to do. It's just about kind of like, there is one way, though, that the universe is really making it loud and available and clear to you how to clear this energy and how to work with this energy. But you haven't been seeing it. I want to say you've been missing the point. And as a result, it's like, hey, like you've been waiting for all these shifts. You've been waiting for this, all these choices, but it's right there in front of you. It's just about seeing it. It's a perspective shift. Hearing the song Calling All Angels by Train. Calling all you angels. Calling all angels. Don't give up on yourself. Because the song I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz is playing, and it really is about, and when you're needing space to do some navigating, I'll be here patiently waiting. I feel like your partner is aware of your journey. And your partner is almost sending you a message saying like, hey, however long it takes you to clear this, like I'll be there for you no matter what. I feel like a part of the gift right now is knowing that in your process of healing, you're not going to be abandoned. And that the people are really there for you. And you just need that reminder that no longer how long it takes, everyone's patiently waiting for you to get this. But they're not like, we're waiting on you, but like they've got your back. And they've got your back no matter where you have to go to receive this healing. Whether it's like, if you need to take time away for yourself, you need to go on a quick vacation, you need to go on a hike, or you need to leave for a while, like you're supported. And I feel like a part of this indecision on what is going to be right or the highest for you is that this decision requires that it will affect other people, and you don't know what to do because you don't want to abandon anyone else because you've been abandoned before. Like, the truth for your highest healing right now requires that some people might feel left out in the cold. And because you went through that, you don't want to isolate them, but your healing comes first because it's regarding other people. It affects other people in the field. So there's a lot of indecision of like, do I stay or do I go? How do I do this? Because you don't want to hurt other people, but you not healing this is hurting yourself, which is thus then in a sense affecting them as well. Yeah. Take the high road. Take the high road. also too is I feel like right now you need to put your needs above other people's. And I understand, Sherry, being a mom, being a wife, all those things that comes into play. But right now, there's something really important about you caring for yourself. You also feel like you might have to be defending your needs and your wants and desires right now from other people. You really don't have to. But I get it. Because there is a new beginning for you. There's a new passion, a new spark, a new creation coming for you. And as a result, you might feel like you have to guard it a little bit, which I understand. You don't have to defend your magic, Sherry. Oh, you're single? Where was that energy then coming from? Because there was this energy of like someone's got your back and it's a partner. Is it a future partner? Either way, there's someone in your field or someone on your mind or someone that you have an etheric connection to that's supporting you and is kind of letting you know whether it's past or it's future or it's relative or a loved one. I'm not entirely sure, but there's someone that wants you to go through this. Interesting. Cool. So Sherry, it's also time for you to take responsibility over your own wounds. But also too, I feel like you need to walk away from the energy of the wounded masculine or like stop associating with Chiron. It's coming to a place where you're taking responsibility for your own creation and where you're with your own universe, but it's no longer associating with the hypervigilance or the trauma response. So Sherry, if you've been through trauma, it might be about walking away from identifying or associating with it. There might be a version of you that needs to you need to walk away from those wounds. It's got this wounded healer approach. And that might be a creation that it's time to be done with. Chiron, the wounded healer. Okay. Love you, Sherry. Very much so, Melissa, by the way. Yes. Very much so. Is there anyone else that wants a quick message or a quick reading? I think we got through all of them. Thank you, Willow. Oh, love you, hi. Yeah, Peter. What's up, Peter? Of course. Got you, Sherry. No, I'm not done with my life. I have people that are contacting me for sessions and people that want to meet up, and I've been live this whole time. Whoops, my bad. Love you guys. All right. Peter, what does Peter need to know? Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. So Peter, right now things might be feeling kind of. Peter, you're going through a soul retrieval right now. So the message is with 5 of Wands and 6 of Pentacles, you're receiving back some sort of spiritual inheritance or spiritual abundance. So things might be feeling like it's a little chaotic and all over the place, and it's because of this energy. It's actually a ripple from you receiving back this version of you. You're getting your wings back, but the wings is from a fallen version of you. So you've got some stuff that's getting in the way. So it's going to get a little personal, Peter. I'll talk to you. So some of these messages, if you don't want me to go, if you want me to just spill it out, please let me know. If not, I'll message you later to talk to you, Peter, about it. You let me know. Either way, there's things getting in the way right now because you're going through a soul retrieval. Right now, it's about building up your light, though. You're rebuilding something. Okay. Right now, you're in the building of rebuild. You're in the process of building a version of you. Chemicals are getting in the way, though. So toxic parenting, chemicals are all producing a result for you that's creating this feeling of chaos or turmoil. So the turmoil is of an old creation. And your biofeedback, everything that's happening right now in your reality is responding to you. It's not just vibration, it's also this chemical stuff. But the toxic parenting is also getting in the way. Either way, right now, you're in the process of building a future for yourself and a future for humanity, whether you're aware of it or not. And a part of that was receiving back this divine inheritance, which is a version of you. Journey. You might have to walk away. So a message from other dimensional versions is to walk away. This might be energetic walking. It might be actually going out and walking, going out on a physical journey. I understand your situation, but there's something you need to walk away from. Yeah, so in the past, you were in your Akashic records. You were in your Akashic records and you got some version of you back. In the future, you're coming into a lot of self-love and a lot of recognition of who you are on this journey. So this version of you that's coming right back right now, it is solidifying an aspect of you that's got some very deep self-worth and self-value. I want to say you're in alignment, but there's this energy of walking away. What does he need to walk away from? What does Peter need to walk away from? You need to walk away from wanting a twin flame. I feel like you need to walk away from the old form of love and awaken to a new love. I don't know if there was someone that you had your eye on, or you were like wanting a twin flame or wanting a partner, but that's what you need to, that's what it's walking away from right now. I feel like it's something that you picked up from your father, though. With the King of Swords, I feel like traditional love is what needs to be walked away from. Like the idea of whatever teaching or lessons you've learned from the lines of the father and patriarchal love, that's something that you need to walk away from. I don't know why fully. It's because there's something that's coming into balance through this. There's so much energy of tradition here. I feel like there's a deep program or wound that's culturally, like it's almost this voice like, Peter, you need to have a girlfriend, or like, Peter, you need to get a wife and all this stuff. No, you don't, Peter. Because here in the future, you got a lot of self-worth and self-value on your own. So it doesn't mean that you have to do this alone. It's not saying go on this journey alone, but right now I feel like it's important for you to focus and to refine your self-love and your self-value. Because there's something that needs to come into balance. This is about a divine balance and a divine order. There's some sort of higher order at play with this soul piece, this version of you. That it's about clearing this whole twin flame, personified, romantic, dogmatic judgments. Like that needs to go out of the way. And it's about really finding your self-worth and self-value alone. There's something that you're there. It's going to help you with being able to make a decision and to go into your intuition. Either way, recently there was a flash of insight or a flash of really expanded clarity for you. That unlocked a lot. It's almost like there was this big expansion and you had this moment of clarity, a moment of insight. And now it's causing a restructuring and a rebuilding of your life. Either way, you're coming into self-worth and self-value. Any final messages for Peter that he needs to know? Focus on balance. The Justice card, focus on balance. Focus on strengthening your intuition. High Priestess, bruh. Know your divine capabilities. Trust it. Like, Peter, you're so deeply connected, brother. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. You are the High Priestess. I want to state you are the High Priestess. There might be, oh yeah, that's why. Okay, so when I started to figure out that I was a High Priestess, it tripped me out because I had a lot of patriarchal stuff that I had to clear and a lot of masculine stuff. Like, I was like, wait a minute, I'm a priestess? I thought I was supposed to be macho man, like army, big muscles kind of a guy, right? And when I started to wake up to my divinity and my powers of being a priestess, my viewpoints on the male needed to change because I was here healing the masculine lines. So I didn't fit into the roles of a traditional father or like a traditional male role model because I was here to break down and to heal those lines of the masculine. And a part of that is honoring my priestess fully, which is my priesthood. It's honoring my divinity. So you're here because I'm hearing shake, rattle, and roll. You're here shaking up the system by becoming this. That's why you're on that journey of self-love right now and that self-importance. I feel like you're going to find your self-worth and your self-value in your High Priestess, in your divinity. Now, I know culturally that might be strange. But your High Priestess energy is really important because there's some sort of balance that you're bringing into this world in regards to love and in regards to union and in regards to soul family. You're actually going to bring balance to this situation and this resolution by working with this version of you that came back and loving all of your divinity, because you're building your own pathway right now, whether you're aware of it or not. You're building a pathway to self-love and to self-importance, but you got to walk away from some of this family conditioning. Okay? Brother Pete. There's a deep knowing within you, Peter, that's calling you somewhere. I want you to go there. And if you need help figuring this out or talking to anyone about it, please reach out. You know that you can reach out to me anytime, Peter. So just send me a message on Patreon and reach out. You're not alone in this. So if you need to unpack or talk to someone, I'm here for you, brother. Okay? Love you, man. Anyone else want a reading before I go? Quick messages. Thank you, Melissa. Lots of love in here. It's weird because I hop onto live streams and live streams usually are so noisy. And anytime I do a live stream, everyone gets really quiet in here. I wonder if like everyone's just kind of paying attention, just sitting in here. Yeah, I thought I was hungry too. I am hungry. I am hungry. I just don't want to cook. To tell you the truth, I don't want to cook. But also, I love what I do. Like, I love being in here and from being an Oracle. I love being an Oracle. I love being a messenger. I could do this all day, literally. I mean, that's what I love to do. So, nothing else I would do. Nowhere else I'd rather be. So, all right. Well, we're not hearing from anyone else, so maybe that's my cue to go eat and to go get with these personal sessions and to contact everyone else. So thank you guys. I think we're done here, unless there's like anyone else. Yes. Keep soaking it. Keep soaking up the sun. Into the sun. Awesome. Alrighty, guys. Well, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you to the moon and back. Collective Judgment Day going down right now. I can hear it right now. So, yeah, we're in a review. I can hear it. Can hear it. So love you guys. You know what happens with these reviews? You just kind of keep making that highest line decision, keep choosing the heart, keep choosing the love, let the collective do what it's doing, let them be insane while they find their sanity, and we have to find our sanity through that too. Remember that you are loved, held, and supported and guided in every now moment. Remember that the universe loves you. And remember, you create your future versions of reality in every now moment. So let's begin thinking, seeing, speaking, choosing differently so we can really have those really beautiful soul-aligned realities for ourselves and for humanity. Okay. That which you speak and see and think of today into existence, do you want to see that tomorrow? And I feel like that's a really good question point for a lot of us while we're reshaping and we're reconfiguring our reality is what I'm speaking today, do I want to see it tomorrow? That which I tell myself today, do I want to see that tomorrow? That which I look at and consume today, do I want to see tomorrow? It's about qualifying our energy. And yes, we need breaks from ascension. We need breaks to relax. We need breaks to laugh, right? And sometimes the comedy that I watch is not the like most esoterically sound and conscious comedy. It's just what I need to laugh, right? So let's not get so stern on ourselves to where we guilt ourselves for wanting human pleasures. But let's just take a little bit of moment to refine our abilities to know that we need to break through some old spells and some old illusions to completely clarify what is new to us and what that new reality is for ourselves. There's a lot of systemic beliefs and systemic judgments that get in the way, and it's time for us to step off those old lines and to awaken into new. But we are creating the new. No, if you're waiting for a handout or for someone else to do it, that's great. But we're the ones that are here creating the new in every now moment. So let's keep creating that new. Let's not recreate old themes and old systems. Let's create new. Okay. So I love you guys. Much love and respect to everyone out there. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. After this, if you'd like to donate, links will be in the description box. Also, while I'm working on restructuring, donation sessions are available, right? So if you, I will have these pop-up calls randomly where I'm doing random stories or random whatevers. If you want a personal session or a donation session, whether it's a reading, whether it's an intuitive one-on-one, you want some sort of guidance, or you want energy work, right? Reach out to me, foundersoflight@gmail.com. I do have donation sessions available. There's a lot shifting, a lot changing. I don't know any more else that I can really update you with right now, but let's just keep ourselves in that beautiful version of ourselves. Let's keep our focus on the self-love and the importance of that in our value systems. What do you find valuable to yourself today? What do you hold valuable and true to your heart? Keeping true to your heart, and let everything else realign. Don't follow anyone else's truths. And as always, please take your power back from me. Take your power back from all the readers, all the healers on the journey, all the people that make you supposedly think that they've got something more than you. It's complete bullshit. Okay. You are me. I are you. All right. All these gifts, all these skills, all these abilities that I've acquired and others have acquired, you hold the same. It's about the belief. So I invite you to take away all your power. Take back your power from myself and from others, from the system, right? You're free. You're healed. You're loved. You're enlightened. Let's enjoy the sacred space together. Let's enjoy ceremony together, but let's do it autonomously, right? So thank you. We're going to just close down the reading, close down the session. I bid you adieu. I wish you a happy, wonderful day. If I don't see you, happy solstice. If I don't see you, happy holidays, happy review, happy system busting, happy phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's just keep rising up. Let's keep playing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep creating. And I will see you guys soon. Oh, yeah. And don't stop believing.